doing whatever you are doing,
That's the
which is
God
not
of your
making sense.
imagination. The way my life is going is not going to go any different from how your life is going. There's no religious person that ends this life in any way different or shape or form than everybody else. You just like making stuff up in your heads. That's your
Brother,
problem,
repent.
bro. Your
Repent
belief
before
in God
judgment
doesn't change the
comes.
fact that you still have to go out in the world and be real. Your God does not work for you, does he? Does your God put food in your stomach with his hands? No, you eat like everybody else. Your stomach digests the food like everybody else. You go to the to the restroom and you deposit. You make a deposit like everybody else. And sometimes you wipe like everybody else. I wonder if you do it all the time like everybody else. And then you go to sleep like everybody else, my bro. Whatever you're thinking in your head, that's just in your head, bro. When it comes down to fundamental day-to-day life, you're living just like the rest of us. You just like to pretend that the things you imagine in your head are real. I don't really have a problem if you pretend. I just need for you to understand that it's okay for us to tell you that it's not real.
I'm not the one who's gonna confess this your nonsense. Just repent before the judgment comes.
Okay, tell the judgment to come right now. If your God is that powerful, let him come right now and
You are
whoop his
fooling
ass.
yourself.
Okay, so
As
what?
if
So
you wanna
what?
know, I'm gonna challenge you right now. In 3 days, you will know the Lord I save is true.
Brother, let me do you a favor, okay, with all due respect. You are not the first Christian to come here and set days. It's actually embarrassing at this point.
I
Every time
dare
you listen,
challenge you. I
relax,
dare
relax.
challenge you.
Let me tell you
In
something, okay?
three
I'm being
days,
as honest. Stop doing that, bro. Come on, man. Practice what you preach for one moment. If I'm talking as the host of my
you
show, please
expose. Just stop it.
don't be interrupting me when I'm talking, bro. That's not reflective of what you're trying to represent, right? That's the least you could do. If I'm talking and you're talking, then my audience is not hearing me. You're forcing me to drop you. If I come to a full
Go
stop, then
ahead
you can
and
say
talk.
something. You are not the first person to come here and say, I'm giving you 7 days, 3 days. It's embarrassing at this point, my brother, with all due respect. I understand that you believe, but you don't have to be gullible in your belief. Then nothing will happen in 3 days that cannot happen right now. Let it happen right now. Why 3 days? What's your God? Your God is on vacation. Let it happen right now. And then maybe somebody will be persuaded that your God has power. Right? If you're
You
trying
are,
to persuade people, you're talking to 135 people right now. Why doesn't your God do it right now? Why does it
you are
always
too
have to be
small.
postponed?
You are too
Everything that has to do with your
small
God is a
in the
mystery.
front of God. God is giving you a chance to live. That's why you're still running your mouth here. You are too small in front of God.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think is going to happen to me while I'm alive?
I'm not the one gonna judge you. All I'm asking you to
If you're not
repent.
going to judge me, why are you saying anything? Everything you've been doing, everything that's come out of your mouth is judgment. Do you even know what judgment is?
I am not a judge. The judge is
Okay,
God.
then, if you're not the judge, how did you judge that in 3 days something will happen?
According to the Bible,
Joseph,
you didn't
Joseph,
you don't
how
supposed to
did you figure
disobey
out that
the
something will
Lord.
happen in 3 days if you're not a judge? Do you know what it requires for you to tell someone that in 3 days from now something will happen when there's absolutely no reason to say that, bro? And then you get up in the same breath and tell me you're not a judge, bro?
You
That's hypocrisy.
you missed to understood me.
There's no misunderstanding. I'm understanding you as you are speaking. You're just trying to be disingenuous because you've been caught sleeping. You're not.
Let
Listen,
me
bro. Listen.
explain
Let
my
me tell you
point.
something, okay, bro?
You
Most
talk
of
too
you,
much.
most
You
of
are
you,
talking too much.
brother, it's my program. I'm gonna say again with all due respect, okay, please, with as much respect as possible. If you don't like the way I'm running my program, leave.
Who are you?
Stop acting
Who
in the
dare
opposite way
you
of what you're preaching.
to
You
command
are a
people to
horrible
believe
example
your
of a Christian.
nonsense? Eh?
Was Jesus interrupting Pilate in the Bible when Pilate was talking? Was Jesus
You have no
interrupting Herod?
respect. Respect being my own. You cannot
Yes, but does the
ask me
Bible
to
not say an
respect
eye?
you
Does the Bible
when
not
you're
say an
running
eye
your
for an
mouth
eye
all
leaves
the
everybody
time.
blind? You're a hypocrite. You are a
I
hypocrite.
don't
The
care.
Bible says an eye for an eye leaves
I
everyone blind. And if
do.
I want you to keep quiet, I can just mute you or take you down. I'm going to talk. If I don't want you to talk, I'll just take you down. Like this. Let me show you how to take people down, okay? Just like this. Watch. Just like that. Boom. Next guess. If you can't behave yourself in conjunction with the religion that you're propagating, you're not worth my time, honestly.
How you doing, bro?
What's up, bro? What you got?
Long time no speak. Um, yeah, man. So, question Q&A. Yeah, ask me anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can ask you any question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what is your understanding of how the universe came about and how humans are here today?
I'm so real with myself. I understand my realistic possibilities of obtaining an answer to the questions I ask. So a question such as where did the universe come from, when I haven't even put a hammer on what the universe is, will be foolish of me. I understand the practice of troubleshooting. If you don't know what you're investigating, why are you asking where it came from? I don't even worry about where the universe comes from. I don't seek to understand where the universe comes from because the universe is not a defined thing that is absolute, right? It's imaginary in nature because we're implying things that are there that we don't even know that they're there. As far as the world that we live in, I understand that it's a product of natural phenomena. That's it.
Okay, that's interesting. So, where do you get your morality from? Does it change with social consensus?
Immorality is subjective. In
Okay,
fact,
good.
in terms of conduct, whenever you're using words that are polarized, it's always going to be subjective. It's word like love, hate, good, bad, right, wrong, immoral, moral, right? Because no matter how you twist it, no matter how you bend it, a person's idea of good, morality, right, will always be determined by their upbringing. There's no other way. There's no
Okay.
other way.
But me and you wasn't brought up in the same household, but I'm sure we can agree on we can agree right now on three things. Do you agree that committing murder unnecessarily, committing rape, and committing adultery is wrong?
No.
You don't think they're wrong? Which one do you think is okay to do then?
Because I don't define human beings' actions based on right or wrong. That's not my way of
Uh,
doing it. I define
So
human
how?
beings' actions as fortunate or unfortunate. You choose to
Okay,
use right or wrong, that's you. But I don't use right or wrong to determine human beings' actions. I think that when someone does something that brings about suffering and pain to another person, that's unfortunate.
okay. So do you agree with like the just like well, I don't know what country you're from, but do you agree with how the justice system works? So, for example, if a man was to rape a woman, do you think he should be punished for that?
I think that actions have consequences. What the punishment
Okay.
is contingent on those who have the ability to make a proper judgment contextually.
Okay. So you don't believe in laws then? So you think that's subjective too?
I think that laws are a construct of what human beings have made when they want to impose their will on other people. As far as conduct comes, I understand compromise. So I rather go with compromise rather than laws. If you and I want to do something, we want to live together, we come together and we tell each other what we want. And then wherever we have conflict, we kind of give and take a little bit here, a little bit there. But you don't get up and tell me that do this and you expect me to do it because you think it's a law. No. So I
Okay,
yes,
but do,
yes, I don't subscribe to the idea of laws as much as I subscribe to the idea of dialogue and compromise.
okay, so that does seem a bit airy. It seems subjective what you're saying. So are you saying do you follow the laws of the land that you live in though?
It's a compromise. I follow the ones I want and the ones I don't want, I don't follow.
Okay, right. So why do you what makes you make certain decisions in which ones you follow and which ones you don't?
Because they align with my interest.
Okay, and where does that come from? Your upbringing, yeah, like you
It,
said.
no,
Yeah,
no.
that's what you said.
My interest comes from the things I want to accomplish, and any situation that makes it easier for me to accomplish with less effort, less pain, less suffering, I'll take it logically.
Why is pain and suffering wrong or bad?
No, it's just pain. Pain is something that you have to endure, and pain can sometimes be overwhelming. So if it can be mitigated, there's really nothing, you know, barring you from doing that. Now, if you must absolutely endure pain in order to achieve something but that's much more worth it, then it's logical. But there's no need to induce pain unnecessarily.
Okay, so when you say there's no need to induce pain unnecessarily, that's again subjective, isn't it?
It is subjective because everyone gets to determine what necessity is to them. Yes.
Okay, so do you believe? I'm gonna. This is my last question. I'm gonna ask you actually because I've got to go soon. Do you believe that there is a chance that there is a God, or do you completely outright say there is no
No, the
God?
idea of God in any shape, form, or context is an impossibility, an implausibility, 100% a product of human imagination, directly proportional to human beings' insecurities, fear of death, and ignorance. Listen, anyone who
Okay,
believes in God, you will always find these three qualities. They fear
okay. So
death.
let's do,
No,
okay.
let
So
me let
let's
me let me,
say.
let me finish real quick.
Sorry, go on.
Everyone who believes in God, you will always find these three things. They fear death, they're insecure, and they're ignorant as to how the world really works.
Okay, let's just
Always.
say. Okay, let's just say that every religion that you've heard of, whether it's the Abrahamic faith, all these made-up religions, let's just say all them people are lying. Okay, they're all lying, and they're there for the reasons that you just gave. Is there a chance, even if they wasn't right about what they said about God, is there a chance apart from that there is a God? So let's just say
No,
they're wrong. They lied. They
no,
just wanted to, why, right, so why not? Now you give your reasons to why you think that people made up religion. Let's just say all them people are wrong. Is there a chance there still is a creator of the universe?
no.
Okay, why?
Because when we observe the way the world works, intelligence, wisdom, understanding is the necessity of inferior beings. So the more inferior someone are, the smarter they are. That's how the world really works, right? The more weak you are, the more you have the need for these tools because these are tools that ensure survival. Anyone who is not at risk of survival doesn't need to be smart. Anything which is not at risk of being moved and destroyed doesn't need to survive. The way religious people define God as an almighty being, such a being will have no reason to create, especially the Judeo-Christian religion,
Well,
Judeo-Islamic Christian religions, right? If God is almighty and he needs nothing and he wants nothing, he would have never needed a reason to create. He would have never wanted to create. The idea of creation is so inconsistent with how you describe such a being. Creation, you create because you need. It's always out of necessity. You make something because you need it. Especially if you're a logical, intelligent, wise, understanding person. You usually make something because you otherwise cannot accomplish your goal without the thing that you've made. So
could I? Well,
if your God needed to create, that means that your God is no longer God the way you describe it because there is something he needs that he cannot accomplish without what he's created.
okay. So a couple of things then. So can I, if right? So can I have the ability to create something and not yet create it? I have the ability to create something, but I haven't created it. Is that true? Is that a true statement or not?
You can have the ability to do anything, but
So
logic will
brilliant.
not.
Well,
Yes,
you're right. Excellent. So I have the ability to create something, but I haven't created it. Right? You agree on that? You agree with that statement?
you have the ability to do anything, whether you've done it or not.
Okay, but the statement that you just made that just debunks what you just said. You're saying that he needs to create something in order to be who he is.
Listen, that's the point of God. God doesn't need abilities if he's God. When you're almighty and all powerful, what do you need an ability for? I mean, bro, let me ask you a question, okay? Just give me a good reason. Why would an almighty being that needs nothing need to create? Do you understand the meaning of need nothing? I mean, you have no
So just
necessity. You have no necessity. So give me the reason why he created. If he has no necessity, it means he didn't need to create. He wouldn't want to create because when you have no needs, you have no wants. It's just there. Your God is like a rock. If your God
but
is
you just
almighty and
remind.
all powerful. If your God is not almighty and all powerful, that's a little bit plausible, but it would still mean that he's not the one who created the entire universe.
You see, I think that statement you just made is nonsensical, right? Because as humans, because I did say to you, forget the Abrahamic faith, forget everything. Is there a chance that a creator could still
I'm
exist
not forgetting the
regardless of what you
very
say?
core and the most driving forces
Right,
that drive
but
its specific definition.
yeah, but you're saying why does he need to do that if he doesn't need anything? So, for example, if I wanted to give charity to someone, I don't have to do that, but I chose to do it,
It's not
right?
a matter of, listen, you chose to do it unnecessarily. You have a reason
No,
why you do it. You have a
that was
reason
my
that you're doing it.
because that's my inclination. That's my
No,
human instinct to
but
do
you
that.
still do it for a reason.
For what reason? For the person, for not for me, for the other
Listen,
person that needs
if
it.
so, are you saying that God's nature is to create?
No, I don't believe God. No. See, for me, I don't believe there's anything comparable to God because I think the fallacy that you're falling into, you're trying to compare. You're trying to use your human imagination and trying to compare it to God. I don't think we're able to do that as
But you're
humans.
using your imagination to tell me what not to compare God to. as if you know God better than somebody else, even though
No,
you're saying you don't know God.
no. I only
Bro,
know
you
about
have
God.
to know God in order to be saying God cannot do something. In as much as you
We
can know
only
God, you have to know God
well,
to say God can do something.
we only know about God what He says about Himself.
Actually, to be realistic and to be honest, there is no evidence to suggest that God ever said anything about himself, because you have to know God to know that God said something. What you
Okay,
are
so
doing
can't.
here, hold up. What you are doing here, like I said, there is a gross level of ignorance. You're just completely ignorant of the fact that Muhammad lied, that all the writers of the past lied, because gods don't talk to human beings. They lied. When they said everything written in the Quran could be true in terms of what Muhammad's opinion is, but the fact that it came from God, that's a lie. It's a blatant, observable lie.
You're
Gods don't
entitled
talk to
to
human beings.
listen. You're entitled to your opinion, but I would say this: my last question for you, last question. Do you only believe what you see? So, do you believe statements that happened in history?
I don't believe anything at all. I'm not a
Okay, you
believer.
don't believe. Do you believe that you exist?
No.
Then that ends our conversation. Thank you very much for your time, bro.
You
Take
see,
care
my
of
brother,
yourself,
if
man.
I know something, there's no need to believe it. When you know something, there's no inherent need to believe it. Believing is opinionated, right? When you're forced to give an opinion, it's because the truth of the situation is not obvious. Think about it, right? Someone commits a crime and you are a witness. Everyone comes to you to ask your opinion. Or everyone has an opinion because they were not there. Right? Who do you think committed the crime? Well, I think it was the black guy. Or I think it was the Asian guy. I think it was the white guy. Everyone has an opinion. Because we don't know the truth. But once you know the truth of a situation, there's no more need for opinions. When the truth of something is known, can be independently observed, there is no longer need for opinions. There is no longer need for beliefs, because no matter what your opinion is, no matter what your belief is, the truth of that thing as observed doesn't change. People, like I said, anyone who believes in God has three major characteristics. They are ignorant of the world. They don't know how the world works. They fear death. They are afraid to die because their lives are miserable. Anyone whose life is not miserable is not afraid to die. If you fear death, your life is miserable. One second. Tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey man, how you doing?
Let's get to 40,000 likes by the end of this guest. Tap the screen. Don't forget to tap the screen. What's up,
So
man?
I noticed you said that all Christians have three characteristics, including one of them saying we all fear death. Correct?
Of course you fear death.
No, we don't, brother, because in the Bible it tells us don't fear death, for God
That's the
has us.
whole point. That's my whole point. If the book has to tell you not to fear death, you probably fear death. Because, listen, if I don't fear death, why do I need a reason to tell you why I don't fear death? Why do I need instruction from a book that was written 2,000 years ago to tell me not to fear death, bro? If the Bible has to tell you not to fear death, that means before you read the Bible, you fear death. Now,
So you said you don't exist, right? When he asked you if you exist, you said no.
no, that's not what he asked me. He asked me if I believe that I exist.
Yeah, do you believe you exist?
No.
So then what do you think you are? You think you're just like dust? I don't understand.
I know that I exist, bro. Do you understand that belief is not the way that you qualify truth, right? Truth is not qualified by belief. Truth is qualified by fact. If the facts are present, what you believe is as good as shit. It's waste.
Listen, I have to go, but just know Jesus loves you, man. And whenever you come to
And
your
Donald
senses,
Trump loves you too. Donald Trump loves you too, bro. Just
I
so you
love
know.
Donald Trump. Thank you.
Yeah, and Joe Biden loves you too.
Ew.
Don't forget that.
Ew.
You see? Hateful. Ladies and gentlemen, religiously indoctrinated, imaginative, fabricated minds. Believe and believing is not the qualifier of truth. Belief is the qualifier of doubt. Every time somebody opens their mouth to tell you what they believe, they are literally saying that they don't know. But they have taught something in their head. I don't know, but I think. That's literally what believing is. Believing is not knowing. Mr. Besson, you are unskilled in the English language, and you need to go and fine-tune your English comprehension skills.
I just joined in the conversation, and I just want to know what's going on. I see here, ask me anything. Is no God. Why you believe that there is no God? Why you think that there's no God? Let me enlighten me.
God is an imaginary idea.
Okay. Have you ever have any supernatural experience in your life that you cannot explain? Anything ever happen in your life that you cannot explain?
Not being able to explain something doesn't make it supernatural. And anything that someone claims is supernatural is also superstitious. And superstitions are not real.
Okay, so how would you explain a situation that humanly you cannot comprehend the way it happened, but you know of a fact that it happened to you,
If
or
you
you
cannot
experienced?
if you cannot comprehend how it happened, then it didn't happen.
You mean it didn't happen?
Because for you to know it happened, you have to comprehend how it happened.
So nothing never happened in your life that is unexplainable
No,
humanly to you.
no. Everything that happens to me, I always found someone that could explain it with facts.
Okay.
Even
That's
even your
good.
body, right? Let me give you an example. Even the human body, when you get sick, every sickness is unexplainable to the person who is sick. That's why you go to the doctor, because the doctor can explain it to you. He has been trained in that discipline. You see, knowledge and information and investigating things in the world is like going to a doctor. When you don't have access to that information, you go to someone who's more skilled than you. And we see that through training, discipline, and practice and learning, you can gain the skills to know things that other people will not know. Then you become an expert. So yes, and when something happens to you, you just need to find an expert. Now, there might not be too many experts because not many people put themselves to discipline to learn that skill or learn that thing. But eventually you can go and find an expert. So if something happens to you and you cannot explain, just find an expert. They'll explain it to you with facts.
And it's not everything can be explained by facts, my friend.
Anything which cannot be
So
explained
why
by
don't believe in
facts.
God? Why don't believe that there's a God? Why? They gotta be
I
specific.
already answered that question. I told you because God is imaginary.
I never. So what happened in your life to let you think that there is no God?
I was breathing oxygen.
So how did the oxygen come in? You just appear. A creation just appear by itself, right?
Like I said again, no one is saying that anything just appeared by itself. What I'm saying to you that if just because you don't know doesn't mean you have to assume it's a God. That's very, 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 very,
So
very not
who would you
smart.
attribute it to?
Bro, I'm talking, bro. Hold up.
Okay.
Just because you don't know where the oxygen came from doesn't mean you have to assume it's a God. You need to go to someone that can give you facts, observable facts, replicable facts, someone who has dedicated themselves to study it. If you want to know where oxygen is, dedicate the rest of your life to study oxygen. You will know where it came from. You cannot expect to know something that you don't want to work to gain the knowledge. You think that someone is just going to give you knowledge in a cup like tea? No, that's not how it works. You need to work to find out information. You need to investigate. You cannot just sit in your house, cover your blanket, go under your blanket and imagine that, okay, oxygen did not just appear. It must have been an almighty creator who said, let there be light. Come on now, bro. Do some work. If you want to know who committed the crime, investigate. Don't just be like, are you saying that we don't know? You're saying that the black guy didn't commit the crime. Are you saying the crime committed itself? No, I'm saying investigate. Even if the black guy was the only one on the crime scene, just because someone is the only one on the crime scene doesn't mean they're necessarily the one who committed the crime. They could have walked up to it. They could have walked up to the crime scene. So you need to investigate. Without investigation, anything you say is not true. So you tell me the investigation you did to find out that it was your God that is in the Bible that made the Bible. Anyone ever observed that God making it? You have DNA proof that it was God's DNA that's on the earth? Where's God? Bring God here. Why don't you summon him to court? Summon your God here. Let him come and represent the fact, because we are trying to judge the matter. Who made the world, right? We are accusing human beings of creating the world, and we are also accusing God. Where's God? Will God come to court to answer? No, he will not show up, because it's imaginary. And it doesn't matter if it's your God as a Christian God. It could be the Muslim God, my brother. All gods are imaginary. It doesn't matter where it comes from. People just make it up in their heads.
Well, that's your belief. And
It's not a belief, it's a fact.
it's a belief. It's a belief.
Okay,
It's a belief.
if it's not a belief, prove to me that what I just said right now is a belief.
Because that's what you think. And
So
somebody
because
think it's
hold
not.
up,
So it's
so
you.
everything if someone says out of their mouth is a belief.
No, but it's not
Everything
everything.
someone says out of their mouth is a belief.
But either it's a belief or a lie. Either you're lying to yourself or your belief.
Brother,
is
okay,
stupid.
check this out. I think I know what your problem is, bro. You don't sound too educated to me in the first place. I didn't want to say it out loud, but your behavior has proven to me that you're not educated, bro. What does it mean to believe in English?
What you call educated? What would you call me?
What is the definition of believe in English, bro?
I don't know. You tell me. You school me.
Thank you for your time. Like I said, you're uneducated, bro. It's okay. You're gonna bold-facedly call something a belief, and then the moment I ask you what a belief is, you say you don't know. Chances is you don't know any word that's coming out of your mouth, and I'm wasting my time. Tap the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 40,000 likes before I bring up the next guest. I need to start doing that because you guys get lazy tapping the screen. And TikTok works with the algorithm. So this is teamwork. If you're religious in here and you cannot tap my screen, you prove my point. Because you don't need to agree with someone or like someone to be kind to them. Kindness is universal. As long as you understand why someone needs your kindness, you ought to just give it. Tap the screen. If you're going to sit in my life, tap the screen. I don't care whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Tap the screen, y'all. English is a language, not a subject. If you don't know how to speak English, if you don't understand, go and study grammar. Then before you go back and read the Bible. Study grammar. Study the English grammar and have a satisfactory mastery of it before you go read the Bible. If you don't understand grammar, you can never read and understand the Bible. Literally. English, when you went to school, they taught you English comprehension. Then they taught you English comprehension. They will give you text to read, right? You read the text and you interpret the text using the grammar. So when someone writes a text, if that person is a good communicator, everyone who reads that text would come to the same interpretation. Because the way you write a text is you follow the laws and the rules of grammar. And grammar is designed in such a way that if you code your text in one specific way, anyone who understands grammar will understand what you've written. Let me tell y'all, okay, something. This is something that rich, powerful people know that poor people don't know, okay? Most of you poor people, and I literally mean the poor people. Rich people know that a text cannot have two interpretations. Any text that is properly written cannot have two interpretations. That is the point of communication. Communication is, by language, is designed so that you don't get confused and you can write something down and anyone who understands that language that you've written will get your message exactly the way you wrote it. So if you think that you can read the Bible and you get one interpretation and somebody else can read the same verse and get a different interpretation, that means that the person who wrote the Bible did not know how to communicate, or you and that person, one of you don't know how to speak English. That is the point of language. Language is designed to avoid confusion. If I write, for example, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, so that whomever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Anyone who knows how to speak English understand that that verse doesn't really need interpretation. It means exactly what it says because all those words already have meaning. When Jesus says in the book of Luke chapter 14 verse 12, if you don't hate your father, hate your mother, hate your brother, hate your sister, hate your children, and even hate yourself, you cannot be my disciple. When Jesus says that, it means exactly what it says. Whenever a text does not mean what it says, it becomes poetry, a metaphor, a hyperbole, a personification. So anyone who says that you cannot read the Bible and get the same meaning every time, like 100 people, one person in China, one person in Africa, if you guys cannot read the Bible and get the same meaning, that's because the Bible is poetry. It's all metaphors, hyperboles, exaggerations, a metaphor is a misrepresentation for the sake of concealing one's own true intentions. We have 40,000 likes. Okay. So let's get to 60,000 likes before I bring up the next guest. No, after this guest, I guess. Tap the screen, people.
My brother.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. How was Hawaii?
I'm back in California, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's been a minute. I was in the hospital.
All right.
I had to check myself in, man. Kind of crazy, but everything good now.
The human body is a machine that needs maintenance.
Yes, sir.
The human body is a machine that needs maintenance, right?
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't go and do maintenance checks on your body, you will probably be miserable as you get older.
Yes. Old and grumpy.
Yeah.
With
Your
sciatic
body,
nerve problems.
and since your
So,
body is a machine that needs fuel, you need to control the fuel you put in your body. That's really honest. Like you cannot eat anything. You cannot eat anything you crave. Take care of yourselves, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Use a little bit of common sense. Jesus is not gonna heal you or help you. You cannot live a silly life, and then as soon as you get sick, you begin to pray that God should heal you. When the whole time you should have just gone to the hospital or done whatever. Knowledge is free in a world where you don't have to pay to know that you're supposed to go to the hospital and check yourself.
Insurance, guys. It's called insurance. You have insurance.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Yes, my brother.
I'm glad you went and got checked up. You
Hey,
doing all
my
right?
brother. People, look. The psychiatric ward is empty, but the jail is full.
For real.
Yeah.
What do you think of
Yeah.
that? What do you think of the Israel-Palestine conflict, bro?
Guess what, brother?
In reference to religion. I'm just asking because you're up here. Go ahead.
Bakanga,
Yeah.
look, whatever love means to you, that's what it means to me, and I love you, my brother. It's just if nobody told you that, okay?
Hey, I accept.
So listen, it's mad real how you asked me about that. So refresh my memory. Didn't Biden pass a law for Ukrainians to come to America?
Yep. They allowed them
So I
to.
was
They facilitated refugee immigration. Yeah.
so I was so I was in the ward with a Ukrainian 21-year-old girl. She was beautiful. She had fire red hair,
Oh
and
yeah.
she was over.
Ukrainian women are beautiful.
Yeah. And she didn't like her husband. He's a black American, and he was didn't want to
Who?
get a job.
Who? Well, I know they be coming. They be coming for the brothers, man.
Hey, guess what? Bakanga?
What's that?
I'm gonna slide right on in, my friend.
Oh Lord, listen.
I got the
As
number,
we
Bakanga.
African people, the one of the most important thing our ancestors gave us is a weapon of mass reproduction, and we know how to use it.
That was the first rule. That was the first
That's
order.
right. We don't cause we black people, Africans, we don't like mass destruction. We just like
Yeah.
mass reproduction. You know what I'm saying?
I like the laughs. I'm glad that I can make you guys laugh because I've been through a lot too, and it's an honor to make you guys laugh, and it's an honor to be on this platform. You guys need
Yes,
to
sir.
respect the host. Respect the host. Stop trying to force your issues and just let him heal your brain.
Shit. No
You're
man could have
trying.
said it any better than that. It is brain healing over here. And you
Yes,
know,
sir.
sometimes surgery can be painful.
Yes, it
You
can.
know,
The truth is hurtful.
and I will concede one thing. I don't like using anesthesia.
Raw. We got to use some spit.
Yeah,
You better use some spit.
yeah, man. I don't like using anesthesia when I'm doing surgery on religious folks' brains, bro. That's why it always triggers an emotional reaction out of them.
Oh yeah. You know why? Because they're so emotionally attached to their God.
I asked a girl yesterday that came on my show, bro.
Uh-huh.
I asked her, what if the whole world was to find out today that God exists? We have facts, we have proof that
Right.
it's not Jesus. Would you believe in that God? She said no.
I mean, come on.
Because
You know.
they are attached. In every religion, those people, they don't love the religion because they love truth. They love religion because that's the team they want to be on. They don't care if the team sucks. They don't care if you want to pay them more to go to another team. They're loyal to the idea.
Bakanga.
Bruh. That's right. Bakangalization. One day,
My brother.
millions will be chanting Bakanga one day.
Yes, in your own village full of all of your children.
In our kingdom.
In your kingdom, my
It ain't
brother.
gonna be a village.
Look. Listen. So you know that David wrote the plans for Solomon to build his empire.
Facts.
Yeah,
In that story,
brother.
right? In the fictional story, that's how it went.
In the Bible, yeah. People don't
Yeah.
read the Bible, so they don't know that.
People don't read their own books.
Nope. And they swear by them.
Bro,
And they're
how
ready
they
to kill
gonna
them.
how they gonna read it when they not even know how to speak English, bro?
Basic
Listen,
English.
you know one thing, bro, that is so obvious, but like it goes unnoticed. The English that you speak on the day to day, that's not proper English.
It's not.
Proper English requires that you be in a proper mindset and it's intentional. So you cannot unintentionally speak proper English, right? You have to
Right.
communicate with intent. Like it's like a code. It's like a math problem. That's why, like, when you go to an interview, you're not just talking to the interviewer anyhow. Like you automatically change your demeanor, and you're
code
calculating your every word, right?
Code
When you go
switch, code
when you
switch.
before the judge, you ain't talking to the judge like you're talking to your homie down the street, right?
That's right.
Because
You got
the judge
respect.
doesn't know you, right? So you can, when you got a homie, bro, or you got people that know you, even if it's just co-workers, there is something called familiarity. Like there's certain
Yeah.
gestures that you make that people already know
Yeah.
what it means. So you can talk to them in slang, right? You can speak to them in any type of English, mix it out with half words. They kind of get what you mean because they're familiar with you. But when you're talking to people who are not familiar with you, you ought to speak properly so that all your message is packaged verbally. And they don't have to depend on non-verbal communication to get what you're saying. Most people don't understand that.
Right. Like how could you have a phone interview and you can't speak?
Exactly. They can't see you. So they are going to judge you based on your words, your tone, your choice of words. Bro, if you're getting hired to be a translator, to translate Spanish from Spanish to English, and you get a phone interview and you're butchering that Spanish, bro, they're not gonna hire you. If you speak street Spanish, bro, they're not gonna hire you.
Yeah.
You got to be able to understand the language you're reading in to read and understand the text. And I feel like most Christians, they get confused with the Bible because they don't know how to read it. And when you read a book, you don't read a book by flipping pages randomly. Only poems. You can only read a poem. It's only a poem that you can go to one verse randomly and read that poem, right? A
Right.
book, any book that is meant to give you true information, you go from the beginning of the book and you read in order, in
May I
progressive order.
interject?
Go
May
ahead, go
I
ahead,
interject? Did
go ahead.
you reveal Shakespeare spelt backwards in the Bible? Did you reveal that on one of your lives?
No, I don't think so. Did I? You might be thinking about another
Okay,
life.
Google that. Google that, my brother.
I'll
Google
write it down.
Shakespeare.
I'll write it down
Yeah,
and Google
Google
it later.
Shakespeare spelt backwards in the Bible, and you'll see his full name spelt backwards in a certain verse in scripture, verse and chapter in the Bible. The people in the chat probably already know. I love exchanging knowledge, brother, too. It strengthens us.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, my brother. Let me flow along, man. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're doing all right with your checkup.
Yes, sir. Peace out, my
All
brother.
together. Peace to you too.
All right.
There is no God. There never has been. And there never would be. If you do not like what I have said, please do me a favor and cry about it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting us to 63,000 likes. Let's try to get to 80,000 likes by the end of this guest. Please, please, please.
Oh, my brother, how you doing?
What's up, my bro? Go straight to the point. Thank you.
So my bad, I'm sorry. So what is your so what's your like deal breaker? What makes it impossible for you to believe?
Because it's unnecessary.
Why is it unnecessary?
Because believing implies doubt. And I only desire to acquire information without doubt so that I can be founded on a solid foundation as I
Mm,
increase in wisdom, right? If I build the
okay.
foundation of my information that I've gathered on a
Right.
on a
Right.
shakable foundation of belief,
Uh-huh.
that means my belief can change anytime. You can pull the rock out of from under my feet at any point. But if I build my life on facts that don't change, truths that are proven by facts, then you can't just put a rock beneath my feet. And even if you try to put the facts beneath my feet, you have to
Uh-huh.
carefully put the true facts under my feet in order to pull it out. So I'm
Okay,
building a
but
stairway made up of facts rather than building a stairway made of beliefs. I'm building the stairways with the intention of it not collapsing. So I cannot build it without any type element of doubt. And because belief is not the way you qualify truth. Belief is just how you qualify what a person is thinking in their head, with or without facts. When the facts
belief
are
is based
present,
on
go ahead.
belief is based on historical evidence and testimony and eyewitnesses.
No, brother, that's knowledge. If there is historical evidence and facts, that's called knowledge. You don't need to believe it. It's true whether you believe it or not. Belief means to accept something as true. So you need to perform the act of accepting. If something is true, why do I need to accept it? It is what it is. If I see a goat, why does it become a goat because I said it's a goat? No, it's a goat. I see a goat, you see a goat, we go about
Because it
our
was
day.
created. Okay, but so so would you consider yourself an atheist?
No, not everybody who doesn't believe in God is an atheist. Religious people need to learn this. Just like not every theist, not everyone who believes in God is a theist. You know that, right? There are some people who believe
Correct.
in God who are deist, polytheist. So you can have polyatheist and you can have realist. I'm a realist.
Okay. But really what I'm trying to say is you have to understand it's you can't just believe there is no God, period. Point
That's the
blank.
mind of a man whose domestication process is complete. Bro, somebody
Okay.
has tamed you. If you think
Okay,
like
look.
that, you have been
Okay,
tamed.
go ahead. Okay, listen. The place you're in right now, the house you're in right now, could you say it had to be built?
Because I know what a house is. Yes, sir.
It had to be built, correct?
Yes, I know exactly what a house is, and I know that it had to be built.
Okay. So the Big Bang Theory, therefore, there has to be a creator in order for something to be created.
No,
Nothing
it
can't come from
depends. It
nothing.
depends on what that something is. You need to
I'm
know what
sorry,
the
come again?
something is. You first have to have a complete understanding of what something is before you can definitively say how it came about. So, like I said, the house, right? For example, bro, I know exactly what a house is. I can even tell you word for word what a house is made of. Every part, what it does, what is required to make a house a house. And because I have a full understanding of what the house is, I know that it had to have been made. Let's say I came here and it was there and I had no clue what it is, but I found that it's good for me to use as shelter. How can I
A
then
lot of
say that
people.
somebody built it? It's like a cave, right? Think about caves. Caves are formed by water running through rocks and then over time eroding. But then the ancient people found it to be shelter. So they made it their houses. But nobody built it. Nobody built those caves for them. The caveman, nobody built a cave for the caveman. But it was
They
a
were put
house.
there. They were put there. But that's what I'm
Hold up,
trying to
hold up,
get you
hold
to
up, hold
believe.
up. Say that again.
Said they were put there.
Who was put there?
The caves, like the erosion, the rocks, those were put there,
By who?
and the creator. Who else? Like that's like say for example
Listen,
like
bro. Listen, listen, bro.
a lot of people like to believe a
Listen,
lot of
bro.
can I get this one point off? A lot of people like to believe if if everything was perfect, if nothing was bad, there's no diseases, there would be no it would be unnecessary for God because everything is perfect, everything is fine. But since there is those unmoralities and moralities, there has to be a creator to have those things in balance. Because if everything was
Bro,
perfect, crystal clear, there would be no need for God.
bro. I'm sorry to say it like this, but I can tell that you're a little bit young and you're just
I'm
uneducated.
18. I'm 18.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm not gonna insult you, bro, because at your age, no one should expect you to be a genius. You're certainly no
Correct.
genius, bro.
Yeah, I'm just giving you what I know.
No, no, you're not giving me what you know because I don't think you know what you're saying. You're
No, no, no,
giving
no. I'm
me
not saying I'm knowing and what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
just
Let me
giving you.
say
Yeah,
to you.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
me say to you in proper English what you're doing. You're telling me what you think. It's okay. What you think is okay, bro. You can think anything. Like you're not claiming that it's the truth or that is facts.
Correct.
You that's just what you think. And because you're young, bro, like honestly, to be fair, usually I'll just like whoop you up with some truthful descriptions which are quite
So
insultive.
give
But
me
I'm
your
gonna
point of view.
respect your
Give me
youth.
your yeah. Give me your point of view. Give me your like
Okay.
if you were gonna tell somebody like this, how would you tell them?
Okay. The first thing when you want to understand something, bro,
Mm,
especially when you're communicating in language, you want to
mm,
ensure that you have a proper, skillful use of the words and understanding of the words you're using.
mm,
Means you can skillfully use the words and you have an understanding of those words.
mm.
What does it mean when someone says natural?
Says what?
Natural.
Natural?
Yes, like nature, natural.
Yeah. Natural. It's natural. It's what can I say? Like
I'll
something
actually
that's
help you
not
out. Like,
something that's like not produced by a man. It comes within itself.
let's see how close you were. I'm going to give you the dictionary definition. I'm not going to give you my subjective definition.
Something that's not processed, sophisticated by a man.
Listen, natural is defined as it's an adjective, first of all,
Mm,
existing in or caused by nature, not
right.
made or caused by humankind,
By human. Yeah, that's what I said.
of or in agreement with character or makeup of or circumstances surrounding someone or something.
Right.
As a noun, natural is defined as a person regarded as having an innate gift or talent for a particular task or activity.
Mm,
Innate means that she was born with it, right? It's
say it
not by
again.
design. It's just
Correct.
consequential. It's like
Correct.
that's what she is, right? There's no
Mm,
intent, right? No one said, "Hey, let this girl be." good with AI or good with math.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a sign, natural in music, is defined a sign denoting a natural note when a previous sign or the key's signature would otherwise demand a sharp or a flat. That's for people who understand music. Now, let's see the origins of the word. There are several more definitions.
But yeah, I see what I see where you're going with this.
The origin of the word natural is Latin. It means birth, nature, quality. In Latin, it is pronounced naturalis. In the Old French and in the Old English, it's pronounced the same. Naturel in French and natural in English. But the word nature is the same in French as in English. But in French, it's pronounced nature, and in English, it's pronounced nature. But it spells exactly the same. So this implies that natural means something comes about to be by pre-existing forces and circumstances
Okay.
themselves, which are a product of other pre-existing forces and circumstances. Nature is infinitely regressive. If you want to
And
pinpoint,
that's the definition we gave it.
yes. So
Us people.
the world is the product of nature. Now let me explain to you the problem human beings have.
All right.
Because nature is infinite and
Correct.
human beings are finite, we naturally want to resist the infinite nature of the infinity of nature by making it finite. So we assume that if you keep going up bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you're gonna get to something so big that there's nothing bigger than it.
Uh-huh.
We assume it so that we can satisfy our finite minds because it's quite tiring to keep going and going and going and going and going and going. That's why people imagine God, right? Because I'm telling you, the
Wait.
the,
So you're
the, the
saying
being the beings.
because
Check this out. Let me tell you the context in which your God can exist. Okay,
okay,
there's
okay,
one
okay.
slight small context, but it's not really consistent with what we observe in our world, right? There's many things that would debunk this idea, but if I was to forget logic and fact,
Okay.
even if your God, let's say Allah or Jesus, would have created the world, Allah and Jesus itself had to have been created by something else. And that thing that created Allah and Jesus would have had to be created by something else itself. Now, let me tell you something about the world
Not
that is quite
necessarily.
interesting. Oh, very necessarily. That's actually a necessity. You cannot be
Not
without, listen, you cannot make something without raw material. Something cannot be without raw material. It doesn't matter what its contents are. You need raw material. And the raw material itself is not the thing. Your God cannot exist. That's literally the definition of the word existence, unless you're categorizing your God as something which doesn't exist. If your God
it's
exists, he's made up of something that was
okay,
there before he was.
let me ask you this. Would you think it's far more reasonable to believe an intelligent mind created the world, or it came from nothing, a bang?
No one
What's
said
far
it
more
came from a
reasonable to
bang.
believe?
The world did not
You
come
said,
from a bang.
so where did it come from, sir?
And for sure, it did not come from an intelligent mind.
So what so what do you think?
Listen carefully.
Or what do you know, as I should
I'm going
say?
to show it to you in practicality.
Okay.
Was computers designed by almighty supreme space dwellers that wield the power of electricity?
Repeat. I'm sorry. Repeat. Say it one more time.
Were computers designed by almighty supreme space dwellers who wield the power of electricity in their hands?
No.
Okay. Do you know why?
Why?
Because almighty space dwellers probably don't need computers, so they won't make it. The person who made the computer was trying to do something for a long time. He couldn't do it. So he was forced to put his brain to work to make a tool
Correct.
that would help him. So he made the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence is
Okay.
only out of necessity, bro. A person who needs nothing doesn't make anything. Like if you don't need money, bro, you ain't gonna go get a job. You're just gonna chill at home. You get a job because you need the money. So if you had an intelligent being that had to make the universe, they made the universe out of necessity. They needed to. And if they needed to make the universe, they're not almighty.
They're not almighty.
No.
Okay, if they needed to make if they needed to make a universe, why?
They're not. Exactly. Why would they need to make the universe? Because you're making something for what? For
It's
entertainment purposes?
it's out of love. How can you
Bro,
explain love to
bro,
somebody?
bro.
Okay, how can you justify? How can you
Hold up, hold up,
justify?
hold up, hold up, hold
How
up,
can
hold
you
up.
justify the
Hold
understanding?
up,
The
hold up,
okay,
hold
go
up.
ahead, go ahead,
Tell
go
me
ahead, go ahead, go
anything that
ahead.
human beings build out of love.
Out of love,
Yes, out of love for
R-
something which doesn't yet exist. Because
rel-
let's say God was chilling by himself
okay.
and the universe doesn't exist yet. Why does God need to love something that doesn't exist yet? So he made the universe so that he could love it. That shows you that your God was miserable. So he had to make somebody to be
No,
there with him.
how can you? Okay, so how can you justify morality and unmorality? Why do we? How can you tell somebody? How do you know something is right and wrong?
Because nothing is actually right or wrong.
Nothing is
This
actually right or wrong.
yes,
What?
I'll show you. Just listen, bro.
Explain morals because in
Listen,
order for us
I'm
things
talking
okay,
to you. I'm talking to
I'm
you.
letting you talk. It would just be nice if I could just talk and then I go, go back and forth. I'm not being
But
disrespectful in any
you've
way.
asked me a question, so I just wanted to answer the
Okay.
question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you ask a question and you keep adding to it, then what do I answer?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Morality is not right or wrong, bro. Right or
Mm-hmm.
wrong is the illusion of morality. That's why people are immoral. That's why all religious people are immoral people, bro. They don't do right and wrong. Like they say it out of their mouth, but you observe their life is the opposite. And then they try to play victim, right? If you call out a religious person on their inability to do the morals that they say, even though they understand the morals, but they willingly break it all the time. And then when you
You
call them
keep
out,
sinning. That's called
no,
sin.
no, I'm not talking about sinning, bro. I'm talking about intentionally choosing to
Mm-hmm.
do something that you know that you shouldn't do,
Right.
but you claim that that's what people should do, right? Let me explain to you why. In this world, there's no right or wrong. There's only what people do and what people don't do. And what people do have consequences. And consequences of one person's action will cause other people to take actions based on how they feel about that person's actions. So there's really no way to define
Okay.
one specific person's action as right and another person's action as wrong. All you can say is that sometimes people's actions and what people think are in conflict. So
So
it is
you say
necessary to have
basically
compromise. Hold up,
actions.
hold up, hold up, hold
So
up,
you're saying actions have consequences is basically what you're saying.
hold
Or
up, hold up, hold up. Check this out.
okay.
There's no right or wrong. There's only what people do and what people don't do. Sometimes
All right.
people's actions have consequences that cause other people to act based on how those other people feel. So
Absolutely.
morality is a compromise made between one or two people
Uh-huh.
on how they would want to do a specific thing. That's what morality really is. Morality is a
So
compromise made by one or two people based on how they would want to do something. Because if you leave it up to each individual, they might not want to do it the same way. In fact, they might even have ways that oppose each other. But when they come together and they talk to each other, they make an agreement. That agreement is called morality, right? So the people of the United States came together and made an agreement. This is how we want to live for ourselves. So they made a compromise, right? One person give here, one person give here. The state gives and religion gives. But they said, okay, fine. But the compromise is that there will be a separation between state and religion. So the state and the religion can live together. So there's a
yo,
compromise.
Chrissy,
And then
stop
we write it down
glazing.
on paper.
Okay, so all right, just one quick example. So I don't want. I'm not trying to get personal. This is this is just an example. So would you say you have a good relationship with your mother?
I have a relationship with my mother. I don't define my relationship
Okay.
with my mother as good or bad.
Okay. All right. So okay, would it be right or would it be okay, good if I were to slap the mess out of your mother in front of your face?
No,
Is
it
that
is not. It is neither good nor bad. It's just unfortunate.
it's not good or it's unfortunate?
Yes. Do you know why it's
That's
unfortunate?
unfortunate.
Listen
Why is it
carefully.
unfortunate and why is it not bad?
Good.
Tell me
It's
why
not
it's
bad.
tell me why it's
It's
tell
it's
me why it's
it's
unfortunate and tell me why it is not bad
it's
or
not
not
bad
good.
because it's not bad because you're not 100% responsible for slapping my mother. You're not the root cause. Whatever decisions you've made your entire life, your upbringing, the people that raised you, the people that governed your mind, they are also responsible for slapping my mother. In fact, the people that gave birth to the people who raised you, the people who gave birth, I can keep going back. I'll never find one person that is responsible. And because of that, I'm smart enough to share the blame. I understand that you are just the catalyst. You're just the trigger on the gun. You're not you're part of a system. Your actions are
Because
not.
why did you slap her? Free will?
Hold up. Let me finish talking, bro, please.
No, I'm sorry.
And
I was just reading a
I
comment.
need for
I was
you
just
to
reading a
be.
comment.
Don't read the
I was just
comment. I
reading a
need for you
comment.
to be paying
Okay.
attention to what I'm saying. I'm giving you like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
real
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
wisdom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen
Continue.
carefully, bro. If you slap
Continue.
my mother,
Continue.
my first thought is not that you slap my mother. My first thought is, who are you? Who's this person? Once I
Who is
learn
this?
who you are,
Uh huh.
bro, I cannot learn who you are without learning where you're from, without learning how you were raised, without learning how you think, without learning who gave birth to you and who gave birth. I'm telling you that action of you slapping my mother, the root cause of it goes back infinitely. So it is neither good nor bad because you are also a victim in the system, right? You didn't
So
get
you
up
said
in
it
the
goes back
morning.
infinitely. Why? You said it goes back infinitely. Why?
The blame goes back infinitely for as long genetically. Bro, didn't you just hear what I said?
Genetically.
Listen again.
Genetically. Because
Listen again.
okay.
Listen again. Listen again. You need to understand what I just said. If you make a decision to slap my mother, your decision is influenced by your mindset. Your mindset is influenced by your upbringing. Your upbringing, and then not just your mindset. Your mindset is influenced by your state of mind. Your state of mind is influenced by those who surround you. Those who surround you, together with your upbringing, influence you. It's troubleshooting, bro. I'm an aircraft mechanic. Bro. If I go up to the airplane, bro, and the radar is not working, I don't assume that the radar is not working. The radar not working doesn't mean the radar is broken. That's not what it means. It could be literally it could be an antenna at the top of the tail of the aircraft. So I got to be smart enough to know how to find the trouble. That's why it's called troubleshooting. So if you slap my mother, I will start troubleshooting naturally. Because you might be the one who slapped my mother, but the reason why you slapped my mother, I can actually trace it back all the way back. And by the time I go all the way back, there's probably like 1 million people I can point a finger to.
So
Now,
you wouldn't do. So you wouldn't do anything to me, is what you're saying. You wouldn't
no,
do
I'm
anything
trying
to
to
me.
tell you how I make a determination how I will act.
Okay.
Once I now understand that you alone are not responsible for you slapping my mother, that means that I can be kind to you. Because now I can feel what you feel. Though what you've done is offensive, I can be kind to you. That allows me naturally to be kind to you. At least it creates room for the option of kindness to where there's no need for complete vengeance, right? I don't need to execute complete vengeance. If I execute complete vengeance without the facts, and then later on I found out you are mentally ill, then I just literally took out a mentally ill person who slapped my mom.
But how about in the cases that they're not mentally ill?
No. Do you know what mental illness is? Mental illness can be like the flu, bro. It can come and go. In that moment, you could be mentally ill. Your mentality is your state of mind. You could literally be in an altered state of mind emotionally. So it doesn't really mean that you have to like, it could be like your girlfriend did something to you, your boss just yelled at you. That's what a mental illness is, bro. A mental illness is not always an insult. We all suffer from some type of mental illness at different points in time, depending on our emotional conditions. I need to be smart. Okay. A smart person will do that. What I'm saying to you, a person who is not smart at all, bro, will never think the way I think. That's what I'm saying to you. That's how you determine how to be kind to someone. And because I have this mindset, bro, I don't have enemies. I don't have enemies, bro. Because every time someone does something to me, I always try to find out why they did it to me.
Either. Right.
Because I understand that no one has beef against me personally by design. It's always by influence. Right? If a white person doesn't like me, it's not because they were born like that, not liking me. Somebody put that shit in their head. It's based on what they were exposed to. So why the heck do I gotta have a problem with a white supremacist when I understand exactly how he became how he was? So if he do something to me, I have the option to forgive. And I also have the option to execute vengeance because I have emotions too, right? So when you slap my mother, bro, I can choose that, okay, instead of me knocking this guy out and breaking his teeth, I'm just going to give him a good, solid enough slap that is proportional to the one he gave my mother. Because the thing with vengeance is that we tend to exaggerate, right? For example, If China drops one bomb on America, America is not just going to drop one bomb on China. We're going to drop 100. Vengeance always is way more than the thing that caused the vengeance. That is how I will react if you slap my mother. And that's why I will not consider it good or evil. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that your journey in life led you there. And my mother ended up being a victim to you. It doesn't matter what you do to my mother. You can say my mother. You can do whatever you do to my mother. You could take her life. Whatever you do, I will still look at it from that perspective. And it will still affect me emotionally. But it will not take away my ability to think logically. You understand, bro? So I will not, I try to discipline myself to where I don't always react to things emotionally. Because, bro, if I react emotionally, bro, it's an eye for an eye, bro. I'm taking you out. But if I think logically, then I'm going to ask myself, what is the root to why you slap my mother? And let me show you why I know that there is no God, bro. And even if there's a God, there's nothing to worry about. The same thing applies to sin. Bro, if God is intelligent, bro, God has to be smarter than me, bro. If I can figure this shit out, then you don't blame a child for being born with a disability and call them a cripple and call them all types of bad names when they didn't, it's literally not their fault. They're born like that, bro. You should expect a cripple to work as a cripple. Being born with sin is like a crippling. It's like a disability, bro. Sending human beings to hell for sinning is like you sending a disabled person into the flames for being disabled. They were born like that.
No, I mean,
listen again. They were born like that.
I heard you.
They were born like that. So God is smart enough to understand that if Adam and Eve had not eaten the fruit, no human being today will be faced with the option of even making a decision whether to sin or not. And if we have a sin nature, bro, if we have a sin nature, do you know what it means? That means that you got to be unnatural in order not to sin, bro. Do you know what unnatural things are, bro? Unnatural things are perverted things, bro. If sinning is our nature, that means we're supposed to sin.
We're supposed to, I mean, that's where Jesus comes in.
If sin is our nature, we are supposed to sin. And Jesus doesn't change your DNA, so Jesus cannot change your nature. That's why even people who believe in Jesus keep sinning. You cannot go against your nature, bro. That's why pastors sleep with their secretary. That's why if I investigate your life right now, I'm going to find a bunch of sins that you do that you had no reason to do.
I understand what you're saying, but that's because they have not truly, like, genuinely given their faith to Christ. And for them to stop.
Bro, faith is not what determines what people do.
That's what being lukewarm is called.
Young brother, let me teach you something, and this will help you out in life, okay? This will help you out in life a lot. This will make you so smart. This will make it to where you will never get scammed when you grow up, okay? Bro, like even financially, economically, politically, wherever you go, you're not going to get scammed. Bro, faith.
I make six figures a month.
Bro, you could be in the street tomorrow. It don't matter, bro. Listen, it's okay.
I'm gonna listen though.
If you're wealthy, good for you. Good for you. If you're only making 6 figures, good for you.
Thank you.
So check this out. Okay, check this out. In order for you not to be scammed, you need to understand that faith doesn't govern what people do. People don't act based on faith. Faith is a claim. People act based on their nature. Their nature is based on their character, their behavior, and their genetics, their upbringing, and their emotional state of mind. That's what governs behavior. I have faith that I'm Superman, bro. I have faith in my heart. Like, as much faith as you have, that you're righteous and that you believe in. I have faith that I'm Superman. I also have faith that I'm your father. You understand? You can have faith about anything, bro. That doesn't govern behavior. That's why it did not say. That's why it says faith without works is death. Because if you're gonna have faith, your faith needs to be consistent with your character, with your genetics. It cannot go against your nature. Your faith cannot go against your nature, bro.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of character, right? There's some nature, like a person's nature can be a product of their genetics, and it can also be a product of their upbringing. That is why it requires discipleship.
Okay.
That's why that discipleship means discipline, right? If you want to change the habits that you develop during your upbringing, you have to make an intentional decision to start avoiding doing the things that you used to do, and it's a painful journey. Like, bro, you don't even have time to worry about somebody else. You don't have time to go and preach the gospel.
I understand, but my phone's about to die. By the way, I just wanted to tell you that. So.
Oh shit! Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, my phone's about to die. But okay, I see the points that you made. You've definitely given me something to think about. So,
bro, that means that if your boss tells you, trust me, I'm going to pay you, but he doesn't give you hardcore evidence like a contract, don't do that deal. You say you're making 6 figures, so you're already smart. Don't take people's
Yes.
words for it, bro. No matter how much people try to convince you to just go based on their word, when you're making a deal with them in the real world, don't trust them because people don't act in good faith. It's
Okay.
not human nature. It's not in our nature to act in good faith. Human beings always deal in bad faith. Whoever you trust in good faith will disappoint you. That's why your Bible says don't put trust in men. That statement is consistent with the natural world. Yes, because men's nature, men always act in bad faith, bro. Even your wife.
Okay.
There's a man out there. If you're married, bro, there's a man out there that your wife looks at and thinks about sleeping all the time, even if she doesn't say it out loud to you.
Right.
There's a man out there that if your wife thinks is more handsome than you, she's just with you because it's the most convenient choice. You got to be able to like her and want to be with her despite that fact. If you're with her because she's faithful, you have lost already, bro. That's why people divorce. They don't understand. Nobody's faithful. Nobody in this world can ever be faithful. Faithfulness is not real.
Okay.
People can
So, all
only,
right.
our nature means we will fail sometimes, we'll succeed sometimes. You need to be able to accept people when it's fortunate and when it's unfortunate. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I hear what you're saying, and I definitely understood that. But I will be back. I will be back. Are you usually live
Do
all
you
the
know
time?
how I know that I've spoken to you, MG, before?
You spoke. This is my first time being in here.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. This is not your first
What
time
do you
being
mean?
in here. You've
Yeah.
spoken
No.
to me
No. This
before.
is when.
It was last year. You told me that you made 6 figures when I made a comment in reference last year.
Last year? I
Yeah.
don't know. This is my first time. I just followed you. It said I couldn't request unless I followed you. So I don't. You might be
Then 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 then
mistaking me
then I
for
am
the.
mistaken. Then I'm mistaken.
Okay, but what's it called? I just wanted to ask too. Where are you from? Because I'm half Kenyan, half Nigerian. I wanted to know where you're from.
My brother.
My brother.
My brother.
Hey, yeah, what's up,
It's
man?
okay, my brother. We need to work hard to develop our continent, eh? So you
Mm,
better be working hard to develop Africa, eh?
mm.
Other money you're making, go and invest back home,
Indeed,
okay?
indeed,
Yes,
my brother.
there you
Where are
go.
you from? Where are
Eh,
you from, though?
it does not matter where I'm Cameroonian.
Okay.
The most awesome people in Africa is okay. One day you'll be awesome too. If we work together, you'll be awesome as well. You just be as awesome as the Cameroonians. The Nigerians are trying. The Nigerians beat us in one soccer game. Now they think they're good. Look at them.
Hey, we've always been better than you.
Bro,
Come on now.
we have a king. Do you have a king? We have a king in Cameroon. His name is Paul Biya.
Ah,
Even the Americans
do
cannot
you do
cheat
you know Oishi?
elections.
Do you know Oishiman? Do you know Oishiman? Huh?
Who's that?
Come, our striker. Come on now. Come on now.
Who's that? Who's that? What's his name? Aceman? Ah man, that brother's phone probably died. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this young brother was fun. Next guest.
Oh yeah, just had to get y'all a little entertainment. Though I appreciate you.
Oxyman. Yeah. Yeah, I know him. I know him. Thank you, bro. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
You see, my African people, you can solve any problem simply by saying, my brother. You see, we
My
Africans, we can get
my
along.
brother.
My brother.
Oh God, how you did now? How you did?
I dare now. May we speak
Yes,
white
sir.
man. May we speak Oyibo language now before they come carry we.
Before they come scatter
Yeah,
everything for
yeah,
here.
yeah.
You know what, Bakanga, how you doing, man? I hope
Man,
everything you doing okay, man.
yeah, man, I'm chilling, man. What you got for me?
Yeah, bro. So let me ask you this: Do you believe heartily, or hotly that Africa was sold God and Bible just to put us behind, or just to put Africa behind?
Check this out, bro. This is actually current events. Africa was given the Bible for the same reason that Donald Trump is selling Bibles.
Damn. No shit.
Listen, Africa was given the Bible. Europe was given the Bible. Asia was given the Bible. North America, South America was given the Bible for the same reason that Donald J. Trump, literally 5 days ago, made an advertisement selling a Bible that has the US Constitution added to it. In fact, I would want to talk about. I'm going to make a live just to talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. Donald Trump is selling this Bible. In that Bible, you have the King James Version Bible, and then somewhere in that Bible you also have the U.S. Constitution, and then somewhere in that Bible you have the Bills of Rights, and then somewhere in that Bible you have a Declaration of Independence.
You're right. I saw that.
500 years from now, somebody will pick up that Bible somewhere in the bush in Africa and read it, and they will not be able to tell the difference between what was God's word in 2024 and what was not. They're going to read the U.S. Constitution as if it was God's word, bro. That's what the Europeans have been doing. That's why they add and take out books, bro. It's literally what I've been trying to explain to people. People see me like I'm an enemy. No. It's just about who has the influence and the capability to do it. Even the idea of coming up with your own translation of it, bro. From the moment there was one English translation, all you have to do is multiply that same translation. We have no need for multiple translations. The moment you create a second translation of a book, you are questioning the credibility of the first translation. So every version of the Bible that came after the King James is questioning the credibility of the King James. Religious people cannot agree. There is too much confusion here for there to be truth in this thing, bro. This is
You're
a
right. Because you know
man-made
what?
system.
Sometimes some of the pastors will use King James. Some of them will use different version of the Bible. I mean, it's like, and all of them kind of sound a little different. And the reason why I asked that question is, I feel like, when you go to Africa, like they depend on God so much, and they forget about like building infrastructures, building like real life, like just they think God is just gonna come from the sky somewhere to save them. But then the on the Western world here, it's like people are just building. They investing money into finding out how the world can change and all of that. So I don't know. I'm asking myself, why are we not focusing on building ourselves instead of just depending on God? Because this, like my parents, and I even asked my mom. I'm like, why do Africa depend on God so much?
My brother, listen. The question is not so much why does Africa depend on God so much? How did Africa come to depend on the idea of God so much? So you know how I used to say in the past, I don't know if you watch my previous shows, but
I do.
when you investigate, your line of questioning is very important. This is the logic of detective work. So if you want to be a detective, you want to detect the truth. This is investigative logic. If you follow the wrong line of questioning, you will never find out who committed the crime. You need to have the right questioning. So when the detective shows up on the crime scene, the first thing he does in his mind is that he takes all the information he already knows about the crime, and then as soon as he steps on the crime scene, he starts to think like the criminal. And then he walks the scene like the criminal.
Yep.
There were 5 people in the household. Someone came in and shut up the house. But it was execution style, so the person had to be up close. How did the person enter the house? They were either let in, or they used the gun to coerce someone to let them in, or they came in as a friend and then executed. So in order for me to find out if the person came in hostilely, if I'm the detective, I will walk around the house first. No broken windows. The windows are secured. Nothing is, the integrity of the house is good. That means that whoever got in that house, someone either opened the door for them through deception, or that person was familiar with the people in the house and he got in the house. Now I come into the front door and I notice that the knob on the front door is broken. That's the number one sign that there was a struggle. But it still doesn't mean that the person wasn't allowed into the house. As soon as I step in the house, I notice that there's a cup of tea that is spilled on the ground. And I notice that the rock in the front door is kind of moved sideways. That means that someone got into that house in a hurry because there's no evidence that anyone ever exited the house.
The house,
So,
right?
yes, because the back door is also open, right? In this situation,
Open, you're right.
let me say that, right? The back door is open. So now, because the cops came in immediately, the neighbors heard the sound and they called the cops. The cops pulled up in 5 minutes. So whoever committed the crime could not have exited through the front without the cops seeing them. So they would have exited through the back door, as it is evident by the fact that the back door is open. Now you walk through the house and you notice that most everyone is shot in the back, including the guy upstairs. So this was execution style. So you
Yeah.
don't ask yourself, why did this person commit the crime? Why? No, it's how did they commit the crime? That's the first thing the detective started to investigate when he came on the crime scene. That was the
Yeah,
first thing he started to investigate.
the motive behind that.
No, the motive is why. So he's looking at the style.
Gotcha.
So he's looking at how the crime was committed. Why? Because he has a crime scene to deal with. Now, if you're a detective and you're working without a crime scene, then you cannot really start your line of questioning with how the crime was committed. You have to first try to investigate why the crime was committed, right? So somebody disappeared. So in the case of a missing person, let's say the CEO of Tesla disappeared. Damn, bro. We know he disappeared, but we have no clue.
Yeah.
The last person that saw him a week ago. So I'm going to ask myself, what reason would Elon Musk have to disappear? Or why? Why? Oh, 2 days later, they find a dead body. Oh, man. Why would anyone want to murder him? So the first thing I will do is go to his company and start investigating his business deal. I'll put all his finances, bring the FBI in, they'll look at his finances. I'll bring the bankers, they'll look at his finances. That's how you investigate, bro. You have to follow you have to follow the line of a proper line of questioning. Let's say there's a crime. I don't have any evidence but the murder weapon. There's blood on it. Bro, the first thing I want to do is pull fingerprints and get DNA out of it.
That's true. So what do you think? So what do you think happened to Africa though? So I mean, you think, because I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like God has something to do with it. The Bible, God has something to do with Africa.
No. Let me tell you something, bro. It is absolutely factual that the civilizations of Africa were much greater than any civilization in Europe in the last 1,000 years. The Carthaginians were greater than the Romans, bro. The Carthaginians conquered more than the Romans. They don't tell you that history. They deleted it. The Carthaginians had conquered all of North Africa and they were coming all the way into the jungle. The Carthaginians lost a war to the Romans. But they were far greater than the Romans. They controlled the entire Pacific. Bro, listen, I want to explain to you the greatness of the Carthaginians, okay? The Carthaginians were so great. The Carthaginian general thought that he could take thousands of elephants and more than 100,000 men, and he could cross a mountain that you by yourself, you might not even be. Bro, he lost almost half of the army crossing the Alps. Hannibal. He was literally at the doors of Rome until he heard that the Romans decided to attack their homeland. Had it not been that the Romans outsmarted Hannibal, because Hannibal had just won a great battle. The Romans had lost. The Romans had lost, right? So the Romans took whatever they had left and went to the homeland because they had like 10,000 soldiers left. The Carthaginians had just slaughtered more than 200,000 of them. Of the Romans. They were literally marching into Rome, getting ready to march into Rome, when news came that they attacked the homeland. So he had to withhold and go back home. But by the time he got home, they had sacked the home, you know? And then they fought another war that he lost. Carthage never rose again. That was the beginning of the Europeans. And do you know what happens when you defeat a great civilization? You steal all their advancements, bro.
Yep, you do. You take everything that belongs to you.
The Romans flocked into Africa then. They started learning. They took all the technology. They learned all the same thing that the Romans did not just take from they did to the Greeks as well. You're the one, you defeated the big dog. Imagine if let me say, for example, right? Let's say a small country like Egypt. Not like Egypt. Let's say Brazil defeats America in a war. Bro, if Brazil is powerful enough to defeat America, you think that China can compete with Brazil? No, Brazil become the new top dog.
Yep, will be.
Yes, that's what happens with Rome. Rome was top dog, was among the top dogs, but they were not the top dog. But once they defeated the most powerful person, then they became the most powerful person. And they just kept expanding. And it went on for generations. Now, they don't tell you that history. And anyone who tries to convince you that those people were anything but as dark as you and I, bro, they're lying to you. The Carthaginians were us. Those are our ancestors. Directly. When the Romans came and sacked, you know what happens when someone comes and invade your land? You flee.
Yep.
You flee. Those were around the first moments in time when black people started coming down through the desert and going into the jungle.
Yeah.
Some groups of black people, because let's not forget that there was a kingdom in the Congo already, okay? So from the west, people started flooding down and going downwards. People started fleeing from the war. That's how they crossed the desert, and then they settled along the coast of West Africa in the Atlantic.
Gotcha. Left
And then, and
everything, like you said.
yes, war is what has always pushed us down south. Human beings did not used to live in the jungle for a long time. The jungle used to be, there were only a few tribes and a few kingdoms in there that were great in their own regard, but the majority of us, we lived up north in the Mediterranean.
Gotcha. So
They don't
but
tell
Canada,
you
let me
they
ask you
don't
this.
tell you that, right? No, hold on, my bad.
Yes.
They don't tell you that. So what happens when people are defeated? They either make a comeback or they stay down for a long time. So yeah, we never really regathered again and formed another great civilization. There hasn't been another great African civilization ever since the Romans defeated the last one.
Gotcha.
Egypt was in and out, but by that time the Persians had already defeated the Egyptians, and the Persians were ruling the Greeks, then the Romans. Egypt pretty much became somebody's little female. The
But
Europeans.
but Egypt sometimes they feel like they're not even part of Africa too.
No, that's why Egypt is called today the Arab Republic of Egypt. They're telling you that they're
Gotcha.
Arabs. They're not Africans. Indigenously. They migrated there.
So that's why sometimes even though they are part of Africa, but in a way sometimes they act like they are not part of Africa.
There are still some people in Egypt who don't identify as Arab. Those ones have relationship with us. Some of them are mixed even. Some of them are mixed, half Arab, half indigenous. But the majority of them are Arabs.
Okay.
That's how we got to where we are today,
my,
right?
my second question is,
Go ahead.
so do you feel like this world just happened without anybody or without any power or without any spirit or without somebody creating all this earth and whatever that we have? Like, you think it just came from nowhere, and nobody just created it, like what the Bible is saying, that like God created heaven and earth and all of
Listen
that.
carefully.
Like it just happened.
As of right now, yes, it just happened. But not because that's what really happened. But that's because that's where I am within the line of questioning. You remember I just told you something about the line of questioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
The world is a crime scene. And the crime is that the world exists. We want to find out where it came from. My first question I'm going to ask is not where did the world come from? No, what is the world? I need to first examine the evidence.
I thought the world is like what God created, the spirit, whatever that God.
No. Our world is made up of water, earth, fire, wind. Those are the primary elements. We need to gain mastery over all these elements first.
Okay.
Bro, think about it, right? We need to study the world. We have to know, okay, what is earth? Before you even ask, what is dry ground? Before you ask the question where the whole planet came from, bro, you first have to know what dry ground is. Then you have to know what water is. Why is there salt water? Why is there fresh water? Why does the wind blow, and what specific patterns does the wind blow? You need to gain almost a complete understanding of the evidence, of the evidence you're dealing with, the facts that you have.
Okay.
And then you, through process of elimination, you can eliminate possibilities. Now, if you're quick to assume that the world is something that is not, bro, we are living in a world where some people think the earth is flat and some people think it's a ball. It's not like we have a universal consensus.
Yeah.
We don't yet know what the world is. We're still investigating. So we're not yet at the point where we can ask the question, where did the world come from? Our civilization is not yet at that point. Anyone who is trying to tell you where the world comes from is lying. I'm telling you, bro, they are lying. They don't know. It's like someone
who came up with that story? So who came up with the Bible and the God story then? Who have that genius mind to come up with that?
It's not that someone has a genius mind to come up with the Bible. The Bible is a product of a system of governance.
But who came up with that?
Just listen.
Okay.
It's not again. Your line of questioning, bro, has taken you down a path that you're not going to get to the true answer. The question is not who came up with a book like the Bible. The question is, what is it? What is the Bible? Now, when you find out what the Bible is, who wrote the Bible? Why did they write the Bible? How did they use the Bible? What is the biggest impact the Bible has had in terms of utility?
Mm.
How does the Bible affect those who promote it and those who stand against it? You realize that the Bible was just a constitution written by the Romans when they decided to create a government that was going to be Christian. Just like the founding fathers of America sat down and wrote a constitution,
Yeah.
they sat down using their educations in their time, and they created something that they can use to govern. And because the Romans were imperialist, it couldn't just govern the small people. They had to create a document from their perspective that could govern all the kingdoms that they conquered. And they were conquering kingdoms where there are different beliefs. So it's important that whatever they are presenting, it has to be seductive to anyone they meet.
Mm.
So now the document the Romans wrote is not the same document we're reading today, though. Because the Romans eventually fell as a military empire. So they had to devise different tactics because they did not fall as a religious empire. They simply mutated. So what happened is that the mutation happened and they grew different types of limbs, the Protestants. And within the Protestant system, you had different parts of those systems that decided to also edit what came before them. That's why King James wrote his own Bible. It's not just King James that wrote the Bible. It's not the only king. The kings of France also wrote Bibles. Louis. There's French Bibles that are named after the kings of France.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in French. Louis. You're going to find Louis Bibles. I don't know which specific Louis. I probably have to look it up again. Right?
Gotcha.
It's constitutional. Now, these were kings, though, in a non-democratic world. So eventually, technology improves. Human beings begin to explore. You remember something called the Renaissance, right? The rebirth of learning. So everyone is learning now, even the poor guy. And the first thing the poor guy learns is that I don't need the priest to tell me what's in the Bible if I can read myself. So if I learn how to read and I teach my children how to read, they won't need to go to church so the priest can teach them. So people started reading and they started finding inconsistencies in what was written with what the priest was telling them. They realized that if you just read it for itself, it doesn't tell you that you need to pay indulgences in order to go to heaven. It doesn't say a word for word in there. That's why Martin Luther wrote 99 Theses against the Catholic Church. It doesn't say in the book that you got to pay money in order for indulgences. The word indulgences is not even in the Bible. That was the interpretation of the priest. And that interpretation had mutated based on the abuse of the text for a long time. The text was designed that way. Remember, it's like a constitution, right? So there's like a Supreme Court. There's a court of cardinals, of priests. Their job is to interpret it, just like you have a Supreme Court of the United States. Yeah, the Supreme Court of the United States is responsible for interpreting the Constitution. That's why the United States, the Supreme Court would deem something constitutional or not constitutional. Bro, so the Constitution of the United States, bro, is really the opinion of those 9 judges in the Supreme Court, bro.
Pretty much.
Nobody else's opinion matters on what the Constitution is.
You're right. Whatever they decide is what is
final. Those 9 people, bro, they are the priesthood of this democratic system. So the same way that we see democracy in America today, bro, is the same way that religion was in the past. It was a system of governance.
Gotcha.
But with God at the top, right? Men used to appeal to God. So when the American state was formed, they said it was a democratic state. Now listen to me. This is what democracy is. The government of the people, by the people, for the people.
The people.
It's not the government of God, for the people, by the king.
By the people, you are.
No, not by the people. The old government, the old world order was the government of God, for the people, by the king.
Gotcha.
So God was the one whose government it was. The government was to rule over men. And God did it through the king.
Okay.
But the democracy is the government of the people. So the people is the people's governments. For the people, by the people.
People.
So people are the ones who have decided they need a government for themselves. So they vote in themselves to rule over themselves. and they take turns. They rotate. With kings, there's no voting. By the king means if you're not related to the king, you can't rule. So only the king's blood relatives can rule.
Yeah.
That's how the old world government used to work.
Yeah.
So the Bible really is a type of constitutional document meant to govern uncivilized people in that day and time. Now that we're in the age of information travels, you read the Bible, it's completely irrational. It doesn't make it cannot appeal to us. We don't have the same needs and troubles that those people had.
Gotcha.
There might be some similarities, but there's need for amendment. So if the Bible, okay, the constitution in that religious system cannot be amended by the people's demand. It can only be amended by the king's demand. That's why King James amended the previous versions of the Bible that came before him to make his own version. King Louis did the same thing. But the US Constitution can be amended by the people. If the people demand for enough change, then Congress has to vote. It can be
amended. You're right.
Yes, it can be amended. Women, right? Remember the women's rights, the suffrage.
Yep.
In 1920 in America, women began to demand the rights to vote. So Congress and the government was forced to create an amendment that will give women the right to vote. The Civil War was fought. Slavery was one of the reasons. So they had to create an amendment to set the slaves free.
Yep.
The same thing is true about the civil rights movement. The US Constitution is probably going to last longer. It's probably going to be more efficient. It's probably going to produce better results than the Bible because it's amendable. Intentionally amendable.
Okay.
But they pull a fast one on us. This last statement, bro. Last statement. The religious world has pulled a fast one on us, bro. The Bible is not amendable if you just assume that the word Bible means Bible. But the reality is that the Bible is the most amended document of all. But the amendment is not in the people's best interest. It is in the interest of the amender.
They think you are.
Yes. It's in the interest of the amender. Bro, when I used to grow up in Cameroon, I used to read the Good News Bible. And the word homosexuality used to be in it.
Yeah.
You cannot find the Bible today without word in it, bro.
No, you're right. Yeah, because you're right. It will be offensive. It will be against the Constitution because you can't you can't use that word, whatever the case might be. Yeah.
Bro, bro, even the word G-A-Y used to mean happy. So you see the place in the Bible where Jesus says, happy are the meek, for they shall be this, right?
Yeah.
The Bibles in that time used to say, gay is this, for they shall be this. Because the word happy back then was G-A-Y. So in the 1920s, those Bibles would have had the word G-A-Y in it instead of happy.
Yep.
So imagine you are in 2024 and you read the Bible. And
it's already amended without the people approving it or without whoever God is approving it.
Bro, imagine, think about that word G-A-Y. In Matthew chapter 5, where Jesus says, blessed are those who are persecuted. They've changed it to blessed. Some versions say happy. Happy are those who are persecuted, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God. Happy are the meek, for they shall be called sons of God. All that stuff, right? The word happy back then used to be the word G-A-Y. So imagine you say, gay is he, for he shall be this. This is this. Bro, I don't even want to say that because I don't want TikTok to ban me. But
you're right.
What I mean.
You're right, man. And your church is going to be getting a lawsuit and all of that because somebody's going to say you called names or whatever the case might be. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so Africa, do you see Africa getting somewhere anytime soon? Or
yes, of course. Listen, if Africans could see what I could see, it would excite them. The only sad thing about it is that I'm not going to live to see the peak of it. But there's going to be an empire that comes out of Africa, literally. Let me tell you why democracy doesn't work. Because we haven't yet figured out that we're a kingdom. You see how I criticize, you see how I just criticized kings, right? From the European perspective, right?
Yeah.
The Europeans did not master the art of kings and rulership.
Gotcha.
That's why, but we Africans, we had mastered how to hold kings accountable. So we had good kings. We had a lot of good kings.
Yeah.
The Europeans were always we're always producing kings that will rule by mass exterminations and mass warfares. But our kings used to rule through economics. Bro, let me
Okay.
tell you something. 2,000 years ago, the most valuable thing in Africa was not gold. There was too much gold. So gold was everywhere. So gold did not have the value it has today. So most rich people had gold.
They do.
But
You're right.
salt,
Yeah, because gold used to be, big in Africa.
bro, but salt was the shit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, salt was money.
it was.
Bro, with salt, you could preserve food. With salt, you could spice food. With salt, you could heal wounds. With salt, you could make all types of compounds. And we Africans, we
Yep.
had so much
Keep the
mastery
meat.
over
Yeah,
it, bro.
yeah. Keep the meat for longer. All of that. Yeah, they could just
Salt
like
was
everything.
money. Salt was money.
Yeah.
You should study the salt trades from the Mayan Empire down to the Ghanaian Empire to the Songhai Empire down to the Congo Empire to the Zulu Empire. Study all those empires. Most African kings were wealthy by producing salt. And this is how kings are in Africa. Let me tell you how kings are worked in Africa, bro. If you were popular, people will come and live around you. It will begin as a small little palace. Then people will just keep surrounding your palace, and they'll keep surrounding your palace before you know you have a city. Then other people will come and form, other small rich people will come and form their cities next to your city. And then they will pledge allegiance to you. And then other small people, before you know you have a massive kingdom. Yes. But those small people who came and formed, they will come as tribes. So let's say, for example,
Gotcha.
the Igbos, right?
Yep.
The Igbo king builds his palace. And he's a wealthy man. He owns a lot of land. And all these people come to work for him. He treats them nice and good. Then all these foreigners from the north in the desert, they hear that there's a place over there where people have a lot of food, a lot of salt, spices. They come, they talk to the Igbo king. The Igbo king has land. He says, you guys should go on the west side of the river. All that land over there, nobody has even taken claim to. You guys can take claim of it. Let your daughters marry my sons, my son marry your daughter. We'll form a relationship. Before you know, those people on the other side of the river become powerful. Now they call themselves Yorubas.
Yeah.
Then the other ones come and do. They call themselves Awusas. They live in peace mostly because they have relations.
Yeah.
But every time they have squabbles, they have little bits of fight here and there, and then they will call councils, the councils of the elders. They will sit down, they will talk.
Yeah, will come together. Yeah,
but
solve the
there
case.
was never mass extermination, bro. There was never mass extermination.
Yeah.
There were no wars where 100,000 people died, 50,000 people died. There were never wars like that. Those wars that were
because it was more like a family, like they just called the head of a council and just solve the problem immediately.
If they had a war where 5,000 people died, bro, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was probably a massacre.
Mansa Musa did not conquer. Mansa Musa did not become great through conquest. He became great through education. People loved him because he made access for poor people to learn. Though he was influenced by Islam, but it was still African mentality.
Yep. Thank you so much for all the information. I'm hoping that one day Africa will be able to, hopefully be powerful like, China and all this.
No, it's not going to be like China. It's not going to be like the USA, bro. Yeah. It's going to be something that the world has not yet seen. Maybe it was in the past. Because what the civilization that we Africans will build, bro, it will not be independent of our traditions, our superstitions, our cultures. So all of what we call witchcraft right now, bro, all our delusions, when we actually modernize our technologies, that's what we're going to be wanting to make true. So disappearing and appearing, that's what some African kid will grow up. That's when he will be trying to develop technologies that can make you disappear and appear. Well, but I'm telling you, that's how civilizations are influenced.
Gotcha.
The key is what we are doing in our generation. You and I, we are first generation Africans who have been set free from mental slavery. So once the fight of independence never ended. Because when we're trying to gain independence from the Europeans, we're trying to gain their independence from their physical presence and then from their mental presence.
We were still over there. You are.
Yes, Europeans did not put us in physical chains only. They also put us in mental chains. They literally took our children away from the parents and re-educated our children in their image. So we need to go through. We drove the colonial masters out of the land. Now we need to re-educate the children in what we were before we were educated to think like the Europeans. And the primary education the Europeans gave us was through missionaries. It was the belief in God. Same thing with the Arabs, bro. When Africans realize that there is no God, and that even if there's a God, human beings have not found it yet. So we also have an opportunity to discover God if God is real. So we have a
Gotcha.
fair chance. We have a fair chance to retell the God story.
Okay. I hope so. But like you said, some of us will not be here to see all this, changes
We
or
don't have
whatever
to.
that.
We don't have to, because as long as we can see the river as it's flowing, we know that eventually the waterfall will come down the river line.
Yes, sir. Look at that, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate your
My
time.
brother,
Yes, sir.
my brother.
Bakangalizing.
Yes, sir.
Bakanga.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
Okay, the
Make
boss. You
Africa
have a good one.
great. Make
Uh-huh.
Africa great. Keep doing your work, my bro. I spoke to that guy for too long. Dang. Jugan. Lo Camerounais.
Why, Bakanga?
What's going on, bro?
Uh, I'm there now, Bakanga. How is everything going on, bro?
You can see how everything is going on, bro. What do you get for me
Yeah.
now?
I see how
Especially
you're spitting fire. You're going on porn as usual, man.
fire breathing dragon.
Yeah. Bakanga, always on point. I like listening to you, bro. You're like one of the greatest inspiration Africa we ever have, bro. You're like you're the man right now.
My time has not yet come. My time.
Yeah.
What you guys are witnessing is Bakanga before Bakanga becomes famous.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I if there's one thing I'm afraid of, is fame.
You scared of fame?
Are you crazy, bro? Do you understand the responsibility?
No, you handle that. You're great. You're always yeah.
Oh,
I
and I'm
don't
not
think.
saying that I cannot overcome it. I'm just saying that I understand it enough, and it induces a sense of a healthy fear in me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sometimes it comes with a lot. Yeah. Bakanga, I have a question. Like, you were talking to other guy about he was trying to inquire like how was life formed, how was the earth formed, and you said something that in order for us to understand how the world was formed, or for us to understand where we come from, we need to understand what the world is like. We need to master the elements of the earth and like the elements of the universe.
Yes.
So the question is, so do you think that there will be a point in time where we can actually say for a fact where the world come from?
Yeah. If we haven't already, but the evidence is highly in support to in an infinite regression, multiple dimensions, multiple universes. That's what the evidence is pointing. So you see, when you look in space, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody out there.
Can we say that for a fact that there's nobody out in the other part of the
Yes.
universe?
Yes. So the way the evidence is pointing, right, especially when we break things down to the subatomic level, is that life is dimensional. So we have to tear through the fabric of space in order to access other realms where there's living things. So within our realm, life is localized. Everything else is non-living. So this is the only place where life is possible here, within
Yeah.
this space, within this dimension. So what we're learning is that the universe is dimensional, and space in of itself is like a veil that could be torn through, and it's infinitely regressive. That means that even if I give you infinity, you will not be able to quantify all of it, because
Yeah.
it is bottomless. So the idea of a bottomless pit, that's what we're discovering ever so
Yeah.
slowly. It's just that some people are just too slow, they won't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes
Okay,
sense.
and one thing, and the reason why we were able to make such progress is that we discovered a long time ago that there's no God. So there's no absolutes. There are no absolutes.
Yeah.
The only absolute thing is that there are no absolutes. So that means everything is checked and balanced. That means everything has a weakness. So everything that is strong has a weakness. Everything that is weak has a strength. So you cannot underestimate anything or overestimate anything. You cannot. You have to approach everything with a sense of diligence. Let me repeat myself. Everything that is weak has a strength, and everything that is powerful has a weakness.
That's a weakness. That's right.
So even if there is a God, it has a weakness.
Yeah,
If
it's
human
not
beings were to
all-powerful.
if human beings were to confront it with a human strength, we can overcome it. And it's so strange that when you look at all the stories of gods, they're always hiding themselves from humans because they explain to us that they're too good for us. But it is also possible and logical that if those gods exist, they might be hiding because we're a threat to them. You don't go and, who here, especially if you're in Africa, who here sleeps with mosquitoes? Those
No
little
one.
tiny mosquitoes that you can just take one out with your hand. What happens when you have 10,000 mosquitoes? Does it matter how great you are as a human being? Even if I give you mosquito spray, you alone, you cannot take out 10,000 mosquitoes.
That's right.
So we isolate ourselves from mosquitoes. If I send 100,000 mosquitoes, if I send 8 billion mosquitoes, listen, there's strength in numbers. Strength is actually in numbers. Strength is not without numbers, bro. Strength is in numbers. We discovered that a long time ago. That's how that's why it's called a chain effect. A chain effect. You see? A chain effect.
Yeah.
A chain effect. That's where strength is.
Yeah.
You will never find strength out of numbers. Someone who has strength without numbers is guaranteed to fall.
Yeah.
Strength in numbers, guaranteed. It's like a snake with multiple heads. But you don't even have enough time to cut off all the heads. By the time you cut off all the heads, you still have to deal with the entire body of the snake. That is why a government that is ruled by a king based on Western ideology is not effective. So they invented a government with multiple heads.
Yeah.
The Hydra. The US government is a Hydra. The Western governments are Hydras. Let me tell you how they're Hydras, bro. If you get rid of the executive branch, if you overcome the executive branch, you still have to deal with the legislative branch. They can make laws. They can rule the country, bro. If there's no president, bro, Congress can run the country. If there is no president or Congress, the Supreme Court can run the country.
The judiciary. That's right.
Yes. If there is no Congress and there is no judiciary and there is no executive branch, bro, that's when you're going to see the true rulers of America. The rich people can run the country. The influential people. Bro, listen, let me tell you something, bro. Let's say something happens and the US government is no more right now. Elon Musk takes his phone and he calls Bill Gates. He calls Warren Buffett. They sit down in a room and decide who of them is going to have the final say. They're like, okay, the three of us need to vote on any final decision. And they'll go and get their most trusted people that they know. You're in charge of Texas. You're in charge of California. Overnight, boom. They got the money, right? Boom. They fund the police. Boom. They fund the hospital. Boom. They fund the infrastructure. And the system just keeps going. That's how you make a Hydra. It's a system that is difficult to collapse because you've built multiple heads. But if you only have one king, everybody depends on that king. You eliminate that king's government. Oh man, watch and see how people begin to fight each other who's going to be in charge. Because they only know how to rule when only one person is in charge. They don't know how to rule when three people can make decisions. Like I said, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates come together. They don't have to pick one person to make the choices. They'll just be, Elon, you're legislative. Warren, you're judicial. Bill Gates, you're legislative. Bill Gates will go to his company or among his people that he knows, and he will build a Congress. Warren Buffett will go to his people that he knows, he will get a court. And then Elon Musk will form an executive branch. Boom! There he goes. The government is resurrected instantaneously. They can do all of this in 24 hours. Fund the military. Build factories. They have the technological know-how. They have the political know-how. And they have the financial know-how. Think about it, bro. You have legislative, executive, judicial. You have political, economic, and religious. You can wield these three powers.
Mm-hmm.
But if we only had a king in America, bruh, if the king died, then the guy in Texas will want to be the king. But the guy in California doesn't want him to be the king. So Texas and California will start fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I made you think so much you lost your train of thought. You said yeah 3 times. He said yeah. 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 He's trying to gather your thoughts. It's okay, bro. What else you got?
Yeah, Bakanga, because I've read some books that they're like I don't know if it's suggestion or like they say that the world, like the earth we live in, is like a tiny part of the universe, and the whole universe, like observable universe, it's like so large that some people suggest that there might be life in another part of the universe. How true can that be?
It depends on the context in which you're talking. Yes, universe just means everything that you know and even what you don't know, but you can imagine.
Mm-hmm. Observable.
Think about it, bro. If life was just something that could be anywhere else other than on Earth, you wouldn't have to travel farther than Mars to find life there. That's only assuming that the structure of our world is indeed the way they've told us it is. Like I said to you, bro, everything you see in the sky could literally be projections. It could be digital.
Mm-hmm.
We have not tangibly gone and experienced it enough. So that means you have to tear through the fabric. You have to tear through a fabric. That's why I said to you, that machine in CERN, that Hadron Collider, is designed to tear through the fabric of space. It literally is designed to tear through the fabric of space. So life is not within our like space the way we see it. Like if you travel straight in space, you're gonna get somewhere. No, you can go to another part of the universe right here from the Earth. We just haven't learned how to tear through space. In the future, we're gonna have teleportation on Earth. Let me tell you how teleportation works. Bro, let me tell you something. The way signals work is called teleportation. Mm-hmm. But right now, I'm only teleporting sound. Oh my gracious! I wish I could just download my brain to people's heads, bro.
But can human teleportation be possible?
Bro, I'm talking to you. Listen carefully. Right now, as I'm speaking, I can set a clock. You can set a clock and see how much time passed every time I say a word. We are already teleporting sound.
Yeah.
And images.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know how this started? This started with drawing, like stick figures on caves. This entire process started with stick figures on caves. Then the stick figures became paintings on canvas. Then the canvas became pictures that were capturing but without color. Mm-hmm. Then the pictures without color became pictures with colors. And then the pictures with colors became videos. And you know what a video is, right? You just replay the picture multiple times. Quick shots. That's what a video is. The video is when a camera takes quick shots. Yeah. So it captures the motion. It's not really capturing the motion as much as it's replicating the motion. And it's advanced to the point where we now have live videos. That means that it's not just capturing the motion. It's not just mimicking the motion. It's actually capturing the real thing that's happening. Then we had radios, right? When we got to pictures, we were only transferring information visually, capturing information visually. Then we got to radios, where we could teleport sound. Then we got to television. Think about it, bro. It's television, teleport, teleportation, television.
Yeah.
Television. We are tele-divisioning,
Yeah.
broadcasting sound. You are teleporting sound. Telephone, correct. Telephone is teleporting of sound. So teleportation, bro, sound is matter, bro. So our technology improves. So teleporting people is gonna be possible in the future, guaranteed. It's a
How's that
natural
gonna work?
progression. Telekete. Somebody said telekete. Well, I like that you guys have a sense of humor. Yeah, teleportation is guaranteed. You're gonna be able to leave from here to Russia instantaneously. Right now, we teleport. Bro, let me tell you what teleportation is right now as we speak. We use crafts. So a car is a tool of teleportation. A bicycle, a motorcycle, an airplane. It's always a matter of speed. Teleportation works based on speed. So the highest speed we can achieve right now with human beings in it is somewhere around 5,000 miles per hour. Bro, in the future, you'll be able to enter a plane that can travel at 1,000,000 miles per hour.
Wow.
So that means that you're going to get into the plane at 12 o'clock and you're going to arrive in Europe at 30 seconds past 12 o'clock.
Damn.
That's the speed. It's speed. It's speed, right? It's speed. That's what
Yeah.
teleportation will be in the future, bro. So that would mean that we're going to have to change our infrastructure. Airplanes will not need to have wings anymore. And because it's going to be traveling so fast, you're going to need a way to project it, to launch the airplane. And then you're going to need something on the other side that can catch it with other momentum. So we're going to have to build electromagnetic fields. Gravity catcher. It will be called a gravity catcher. Right? So your airplane will be like a launcher, like a cannon. Let me tell you, bro, listen carefully, bro. Airplanes in the future will be like cannons, bro. It'll be like a giant cannon at the airport. Many of them, 20 of them. And human beings will come into the doors on the bottom, we go up in the top, and we all sit in our seats. And then you launch the cannon from wherever you want to launch it to Africa. And then in Africa, at the airport in Africa, you have receivers. And it'll be like stargates, like little rings, but gravitational rings. And then you use GPS and all other tracking technology that we have to align the trajectory. The same thing that we use with missile defense system. Because you know now with our missiles, you can shoot a missile from America to China and we hit the exact house that you want it to hit. So in the future, those gravity gates will be stationed, right? And then along the atmosphere, as you're getting closer to the airport, there will be other gravity rings. And then when you're in the United States, you're going to launch it at maximum speed. But as it gets closer to maybe Africa, where it's supposed to go, it will go through the first ring, and the first ring will slow the speed down from 1,000,000 miles per hour to 500 miles an hour. Then by the time it gets to the third ring, it's already slowed down to about 50,000 miles per hour. By the time it goes to 100 rings, it would have slowed down to 1,000 miles per hour. And then as it is descending, it would have slowed down to about 200 miles per hour. And then when it finally touches down, it touches down at 0 miles per hour. It's kind of like how airplanes work right now. Right now, there's something called the throttle in an airplane. Right? The other day at work, I had to fix a problem on the plane. I had to deal with a problem. I had to go down to San Jose, to the San Jose airport, because nobody over there had engine run certification. And the pilot wrote in the book, because every plane has a logbook. The pilots write down anything that happens. The pilot wrote in the book that during descent, the anti-ice fault came up. But when I increased thrust, the fault went away. So as a mechanic, my job is to read what the pilot wrote. I'm supposed to already know the system. So I go into the manual and I go and look up the anti-ice system, engine anti-ice. So what the system says is perform an operational check of the engine anti-ice system. In order for you to perform an operational check of the anti-ice system, you have to run the engine. None of the mechanics down there had the certification. So they had to come to our station to ask for help, and they sent me. So what I did was I ran the engine. And the ops check tells you, once the engine is running and is stable at idle, because when you start the engine, you have to watch certain parameters. You have to watch the speed of the different stages of the engine, and then you also have to watch the temperature of the exhaust. The temperature of the exhaust stabilizes at about 380 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it doesn't stabilize there, you have to shut down the engine. Something's wrong. So once everything is stable, then you push the anti-ice button. It literally takes 30 seconds. You push the button, and then the computers in the plane will run the test. The manual tells you that once you push the button, you should see the fault come up.
Mm-hmm.
The fault comes up, and the fault says to you that you should increase thrust. But if you're not able to increase thrust, you should avoid icy conditions. So what happened is that the pilot didn't really have a problem. When he was descending, he slowed the plane down too much. And because he slowed the plane down too much, the anti-ice fault came up. And that fault was telling him to increase thrust, to increase his speed. And if he did not increase his speed, it tells him that it's okay for him to keep flying at that speed, but he needs to avoid icy conditions. Because if he's in the snow, he's going to lose certain systems. That's how it's going to be in the future. There's going to be systems that are designed to slow down crafts. And those crafts will be traveling so fast, it would literally be teleportation. Bro, do you know that as you go up in the atmosphere, you can't breathe up there? Every aircraft has an artificial atmosphere. Every time you get into a plane, there is an artificial atmosphere in there. We just call it pressurization. So they increase the pressure, and the airplane is completely sealed. Nothing is leaking. When you're in the airplane, bro, the plane is completely sealed. A plane doesn't have to be completely sealed if it's flying like at 10,000 feet and below. If you're flying above 10,000 feet, you have to pressurize the airplane. So all these small planes that you see around here, they can fly with their windows open.
Yeah.
Because they're flying in the breathable atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go up above 10,000 feet, you have to pressurize the aircraft. Because there's no air up there. Or the air is very thin.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know what will happen if you don't pressurize the aircraft out there? It will just squash like a kind of sardine. So it's designed to where the pilot increases the pressure in the aircraft slowly as it goes up until he reaches cruise altitude. Every commercial airplane in the world has to fly. The maximum height they can fly is 42,000 feet. No plane, no commercial plane is allowed to fly more than 42,000 feet. Above 42,000 feet, military planes fly because there's highways in the air. There's highways in the air. Mm-hmm. If you leave from JFK in New York, the pilot has to enter his flight plan. How high he will fly, how fast he will fly, where he's going to, and what route he will take. He has to check the weather. Look at all his options for avoiding bad weather. And he has to communicate with the tower. And then they're going to let him know what altitude he's going to be flying in. They'll say, look, you should go up to 32,000 feet. That's where you're going to be cruising. And then the plane that takes off behind him, they'll say, follow that guy that just went up, but you're going to go up to 42,000 feet. There's always a gap of 2,000 feet between every plane, between the lanes. If you're flying at 42, the next guy under you is at 40. The next guy under you is at 38, 36, like that. All the way you come down to 10,000, 8,000, and you keep descending. That's to avoid collision. If I should show you an app of how many planes are in the air right now, you'll be surprised. If you understand everything that I'm telling you, bro, and somebody tells you, will human beings be able to teleport in the future? Yes, it's a guaranteed yes.
Wow.
An ignorant person doesn't care. The brother asked me a question. I was just giving him reference. And I love what I do, so I educate myself properly. Bro, our airline just got a new plane, the 787. Man, bro, this plane. It's easy to just go to the airport and step on a plane to fly, bro. But if you actually understood how these machines work, bro, like, this whole year, I haven't been, like, in awe of anything. Like, nothing has really blown my mind until I sat in that plane. Every plane other than the 787, bro, when something's wrong with the plane, you have to interrogate the plane, but you have to enter the information yourself, and the plane will give you a fault, and then you will go into the manual, and then you investigate the manual, and then you do some other type of troubleshooting. Maybe you take a multimeter and you check resistance, you check voltage, you check all that stuff. This 787, bro, it does it all. So I push the button. The plane does all its thinking. It takes 5 minutes to think, and then it tells me exactly what I need to fix. So I just go and get the part and change it. I don't have to be because in my industry, bro, troubleshooting. Anybody who works with computers, troubleshooting is a skill. Not everybody can do it, and the more you can do it, the better you are.
Yeah.
It's completely computerized, bro. It's so computerized, bro. This plane has electric brakes. I don't know if you understand cars. Anyone understand cars? The brakes on the car are hydraulic. Means it's a pressurized system where you pressurize the fluid. That's why you have to drain brake fluid.
Yeah.
Airplanes are like that too. Airplanes brakes have fluids, and then it also has pistons that compress and expand and contract. But this 787, bro, the brakes are electric. There's no fluid anywhere within the brake system. I don't know. Unless you like airplane, this is not really impressive to you. Bro, let me tell you something, bro. That means that, bro, the pilot in this plane, bro, is a supervisor. Yeah. He's not a pilot. He's a supervisor, bro. That's what the pilot is. The pilot is supervising the computers. He's not controlling the computers. He's just there taking notes, making sure the computer is doing what it's supposed to do. In the old planes, in World War I, World War II, in fact, during World War II, bro, have you ever heard of the Japanese kamikazes?
Yeah.
Those were pilots who were flying planes that could not be landed. So the Japanese used to use them as like missiles because they didn't have missiles back then. So they literally had to sacrifice a human being for every missile.
Yeah.
They will put them in that plane. The plane will take off, but the plane cannot land. There's no wheels. So they were designed to go and crash into the U.S. ships, into U.S. infrastructure. That's what they come in. Those old planes. That's how it started. They couldn't even land planes back then, bro. The Wright brothers, the people who are credited for the modern progress in airplanes, the Wright brothers, bro. The first plane that they made was really just a glider. They went up on a high slope, and they designed this thing with wings, and then they pushed it off, and it flew for 14 seconds. That's how it started. You want to know how it ends? It ends with teleportation, bro. It ends with teleportation in your house. So you're going to have your house, you're going to have a room. When you get in that room, you push a button, boom, you're in Africa. Anybody who's laughing doesn't understand technology. That's what I'm telling y'all, bro. Bro, think about it, bro. These systems will be much better because AI will be doing the thinking for us. Quantum computers will be doing all the thinking. So they can process a lot of info. You're into IT, right, Jugan?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what computer speed is.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what a computer can do once it can process a lot of information. And you know what type of utility you can get out of those computing systems. Check this out. I'm about to pull a fast one on y'all. Everyone listening to me right now. When I say the word computer, what comes to mind? Put it in the comment section. What do you picture in your mind when I say computer? What image comes to your mind when you hear the word computer? Please, let me know in the comment section, please. Somebody says calculations. Somebody says calculator. Someone says internet. Somebody says numbers. Robot. A tower with a screen. Programming. Brave. Laptop. Computers. I like that. Electronic device. Brain. Data. Brain. Machine. Television. AI. My phone died. I'm back. Quantum physics. Artificial. Info data. Phone. Planning. TV. Programming. 1-2 binary. You know what though? You guys actually shocked me. I wasn't expecting everyone to have like a diverse view of it. I thought people were going to say a screen. I bet you though, most of you, the image that comes to your head is a screen, right? That's just the desktop. That's not the computer. If you picture the desktop, right? If you picture the screen like that, if you picture a screen like that, you know, actually, this has a CPU and the brain in the back of it. Because this is one of those, it doesn't have a separate CPU. It's all like one unit laptop. But the diversities in what you guys think, y'all, that's why we are improving so fast technologically. We all have different ways of looking at the same thing. That means we can all solve different problems. And every problem you solve is always going to benefit the person next to you. You have anything else for me, Jugan? I've been preaching. You turned me into a pastor, bro.
No, that's good. I had my question.
Le Camerounais, lui-même.
Toujours,
On dit quoi, non, mon
toujours.
gars? On dit quoi? On dit quoi? Thank you, my brother. Je te remercie, mon frère.
Merci, patron.
Ah, nous sommes là, non. C'est toi le patron, c'est moi.
Continue à faire ce que tu fais. L'Afrique sera éveillée un jour à cause de toi.
Ah, je
Nous
suis le
sommes là.
chemin. Je suis sur mon chemin, mon frère.
Non, c'est ça, frère. Il faut continuer. Nous sommes
Bien
toujours
sûr.
derrière toi jusqu'à la gare.
Bien sûr, jusqu'à la gare. C'est pour ça que toi aussi, tu continues à évoluer dans ce que tu fais, n'est-ce pas?
Ouais, c'est ça.
Exactement. Merci beaucoup, mon frère. On
D'accord,
continue,
on a
non?
ça.
Reste
D'accord.
là, nous sommes ensemble. Woo! Let's go back to the God topic. We got off the God topic for a little bit.
So, man.
What up, bro? What you got for me? What you got for me, my brother?
Yeah, cautions, man. Reality. You're the realest person, actually, that I can say that I see and know on Facebook, and I'm actually really glad that I'll be able to talk to you, because I feel like we can discuss some things.
Go ahead. Talk with me.
So you know, I work in the extended reality field.
Right?
So we basically simulate realities, and yeah, that kind of like gave me a very different understanding of reality that a lot of people consider is really crazy, but like I
So,
honestly
bro, I like that you came up. So they call it augmented reality, right?
no extended reality. So
Extended.
extended reality is it encompasses augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality, the three of them.
Okay, so
So they're
can I,
different, yeah.
if I was to use the language artificial reality, will I be right?
Artificial reality?
Yes. Since
Yes,
you're a little bit more of an expert than me, I'm just wondering because I use it sometimes, but I've
you
always
can-
had.
yes, you can say that they are artificial reality, but I'm gonna counter argue that how can you provide
Actually,
an evidence that
I wasn't
what
saying
you-
it.
what we're looking at is
I wasn't
not
saying as an argument. I was actually saying it so that you can teach me because
okay?
I usually use the word. I usually use the word
Uh-huh.
artificial reality, but I really mean what you're saying, augmented reality, right? I'm just wondering if my choice of what if I should correct my choice
I
of
don't
word.
think so. That's the right word. Artificial reality is quite because it's a different thing. So I would say that you would use the word extended reality because we have
Okay.
this reality that we know, right? We have this.
Damn, that's
reality as we
crazy,
know
bro.
it.
Do you
So
know that if
extended,
the word is extended
Extended.
reality, that's crazy.
yeah, that's what we
That-
call extended reality.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy, bro. Because
Yeah.
if it's extended, that means it's an
Yeah.
extension of what is already
Yeah,
there.
exactly. That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, bro.
Bro,
man,
but-
you get it. Fuck, dude.
Bro.
That's so crazy, bro.
Bro, check this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But you know the way I was picturing it in my mind, I was thinking that
Uh-huh.
we are separating the reality that we are extending from the one that is already there.
No.
That's why I was calling it artificial because
Uh-huh.
I'm almost assuming that no matter how real it feels, it's not gonna feel as real as this one. But if that reality is an extension of this one, then at some point you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference.
Thank you. That's where we're heading, brother. You're not
Holy
gonna tell
shit.
in the future. That's where we're
Yeah.
heading. You're not gonna tell. I tell you.
That's
bro.
crazy. That's even more awesome than my choice of words. That's what you're saying is what I'm imagining in my head. But I was just trying to be moderate in my choice of words. So the correct word is not artificial reality; it's extended reality.
Extended
Yes.
reality. So we divide them into three. So if you want a further explanation, I can
Yeah.
tell you
Go
the
ahead, tell me.
difference.
Tell me.
So extended reality will be divided into three. The first is augmented reality. Second is virtual reality. The third is mixed reality.
So augmented reality is like Pokemon. So you can have your phone, turn on the
Yeah.
camera,
Yeah.
and look at let's say Amazon. You want to buy a furniture,
Right.
and you put on your phone, and then the Amazon will put the furniture in your phone, and it will look like it's in your house, where you see the furniture, if it's big, if it's small, if it fits your house.
Oh,
That is
that is
augmented reality.
that's augmented reality, right?
That is augmented reality.
Bro, believe it or not, bro, when I moved into my apartment, I
Yeah.
did go to Amazon to buy a furniture, and Amazon told me the app told me to stand in my living room, and that I should put my phone in the direction of the living room, and then I could move the couch on the screen
Yes,
to
sir.
see the way it would look if it was sitting in my
sir.
living room.
That's what we do. Yes, sir. That's augmented reality.
That is augmented. That is correct.
Yeah, so augmented reality is simply, it is not interactive. It is simply where you put things on top of an existing reality. You're simply augmenting it,
Right.
right?
Right.
So next we go to virtual reality. Virtual reality is simply a reality that is completely created and devoid of the outer reality, where you will be able to go to a virtual space completely 360 degree, surrounded by virtually made reality that you will be in. So
there's gonna be trees, there's gonna be water, there's gonna be cities.
Yeah, so you can
Kind of
make
like the idea of the
world.
metaverse. Is that kind of like the idea of the metaverse?
The metaverse is simply, yes, metaverse. Most of them are considered as virtual reality. It is totally man-made. It's totally man-made. But guess what? That's not even the crazy. The crazy part is the mixed reality. Mixed reality is where we're heading. And honestly, if anybody's listening, if you want to make money, and if you're interested in this area, if you are in the mixed reality game, I trust me, billionaires in the future are going to come from this. Because let me tell you, mixed reality is where we're heading. Mixed reality is the ability to simply add as much as virtual things in the real world, where you will not be able to differentiate what's real and what's virtual, as long as you have an eyeglass, even a contact lens. After 200 years, probably in 100 years, we're simply going to have a contact lens, and what you see is not going to be this. Simply,
Bro, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
Is that like, for example, making holographic images to be tangible to where you can touch it, but it's really not there?
Well, so we can go to that. That you need to add haptics. So haptics is another field where you add haptic feedback. So haptics is usually where you find, if you play video games, if you hold like PS5 joystick or the PS5 player, the way you play. Have you seen it? When you hit the pole, it does, right? It triggers.
It vibrates in my hand. Yes, it vibrates in my hand.
That's haptics. So we even have in our lab, we have gloves. So those gloves are haptic gloves. So you simply can shake somebody with the glove. You're not shaking somebody, but the glove will shake you, and it will feel like you're shaking somebody. You can hold hands with somebody actually and walk on the park.
Holy shit.
You're
Let me
holding
see.
a glove.
So
It's
check
a
this
glove.
out. So you're saying to me that
Yeah.
if I combine haptics with virtual reality, I can
Yes.
lay down on my couch, put on virtual reality glasses, then take a bunch of sensors and put them on key parts of my body where based on different energy points. And then if I was running in the virtual reality world, my body that's on the couch will actually be getting that sensation.
So here's the thing. The haptic feedback is simply, at this point, what we can do is, for example, we can simulate, let's say making out, kissing, right? We have like, we can make haptic feedback for kissing, where you can literally make out. You can literally make out with haptic feedback. You're just
You can make out digitally, you can make out wireless.
Yeah, literally, and you not even tell like that.
all the women in the stream right now, I am making out with you guys haptically.
Yo, dude, you know that actually, with the fact that we're having the world's longest, you know what?
Hey Moji, give me a digital kiss.
I have this theory. You know what? I have this
Go ahead.
theory
Go ahead.
I have this theory with the fact that how like the ladies are treating us. I swear to God, I'm on a quest to fucking create wives for everybody, bro. Free
Nah,
wives
bro.
for my
That's a
man.
stretch. That's a stretch, bro. Come on, we need women.
I swear to God, and it's possible,
Listen,
bro.
listen,
You
listen,
can
listen.
create with AI like amazing 3D models that are
Yeah.
beautiful women, and you can have haptic feedback. And bro,
God damn,
like,
bro.
you can actually
Bro.
change their look every single day. You can design
Hold on,
them.
bro. I need to interrupt you, bro. That's the mentality of a nerd who can't get girls, bro. I know you're smart, bro, but damn. Now you trying to replace women, bro? Nah, bro. I still like the real women, bro. If you can haptically replicate the warmness of a woman's breast, you ever put your head between a woman's breast, bro? That stuff is so warm, you can't buy
I
that in
know.
the market.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
what I'm saying is that it is a possible. It's like we're not gonna be like, like I'm not gonna be like begging and like asking for numbers and like doing that like, so fuck off, like I can make my wife.
you're funny, bro.
I
This
swear
dude
to
is
God,
like,
not
this
even
dude is
one, like
like, this
thousands of
dude.
them, bro. Thousands
Hey,
of them,
bro,
bro.
we're supposed to be having this conversation in the absence of women, bro. Now they might think you're conspiring to.
Swear to God, like honestly, it's like bro, man, like with their attitude, bro, I'm not even fucking gonna sleep, man.
He's like, women, we are creating alternative ways
These
of
days,
pleasing
man, I
ourselves.
swear to God, they were good actually 5 years ago, but these days, I don't even know what the fuck is going on, dude.
You know what, bro? I'm gonna make a live show where we talk about relationships between men and women, why men and women are facing more difficulties getting together. I have my own opinions. I'm making it very clear. I have my own opinions that I would like to talk about,
Yeah.
right? But my opinions carry no weight. So this will be a type of conversation where everyone gets to share what they're thinking in their head, whether it is backed by facts or not. Because I like to stick with the facts, right? But I've always thought about entertaining that because it allows people to ponder.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah. But what you're saying is
Yeah.
not necessarily too wrong. The relationship between men and women factually has become more polarized. It's become more complex with the introduction of dating websites, social medias.
Yeah,
I
exactly, man.
mean, it's hard for men to stay monogamous these days, bro. It's hard for men to stay monogamous. And that's made women feel like men don't, but it's just, I just feel like we're going back to our natural instinct of polygamy. That's why I'm a polygamist, bro. When I see a woman and she's beautiful, I don't even
Yeah.
conceive the thought in my head that I'm cheating on anyone, even if I'm with them. Like, I need to be able to see a woman and just appreciate her naturally without feeling guilt inside
Yeah.
of me. I think that if
Yeah.
the world was like that, it would be better. You know, this idea that you have to be stuck with one person, I can understand being financially committed to one person. I can even understand being responsibility committed to one person. But if I cannot
Bro,
admire another woman's
Bro, do
beauty,
you see my profile picture? This actually exists. It's me. It's me exists in virtual reality. This is actually
damn.
me, and actually I can make you also. I can make you like this, and actually make you exist, and we can chill. Have fun. We can
Yeah,
just
like in the metaverse. Like in the metaverse.
definitely. I can actually send you even a 3D render, like highly realistic 3D render of you. I only
Dude,
need your face, your front face, your side face, and the other side face, and I can send you a highly rendered, highly 3D. Like I can send you for you like yours,
dude, maybe
your render.
maybe I'll use it as my Bakanga logo, my face.
Bro, that so you've heard about Nvidia, right?
Nvidia. Oh, bro, let me tell you something, bro.
Yeah.
I was trading Nvidia when it was literally $300.
Oh wow.
That
And
stock went up so
did you
much,
get
bro,
it?
and I sold it. I doubled my money, but I sold it too early, and it kept going up,
Oh
bro.
man, dude, I'm not even in the fucking stock, man. I use their technology, bro. So they have a model called the Neurangelo. It is a beast, bro. You can literally create, bro. You know what? I'm actually gonna create as much digital chicks as possible and create OnlyFans. I'm not even gonna. People are not even gonna know. I swear to God, they're gonna think that they're hot chicks and they're just gonna subscribe to their OnlyFans and they're just gonna see a bunch of pixels, getting me $10 a month for a bunch of, and I can have them like 1,000 of them. They think like they got a chick. I can make them take pictures with like post on fucking Twitter, and bro, bro. Like I swear to God, man.
My bro, let me ask you a question, bro. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Turn on your camera, man. Turn on your
No, I
camera.
can't, dude. No, no.
Why
That is
not?
bro. That
Bro, I was gonna get you a chick right now.
bro. No.
There's a
Fuck no.
beautiful woman
I'm a
right
I'm
now.
I'm a fucking
There's
PhD
a
student,
beautiful
bro.
woman right now watching us that is for you.
I'm a
Let her see
PhD
what you
student. I
let her
can't.
see what you look like and she'll
I'm a
reach out to
PhD
you.
student. I can't, bro. She can follow me. I can follow her back, and we can talk.
Alright, y'all. If there's any females out there that would like this brother, please go and show
Dude,
him.
it's really difficult, man.
Go
Talking
go
about
and
this
go
and
and show him the
coming
touch
out
of a
face.
woman.
Huh? What's that?
Bro, I think you need a touch of a woman so you can slow down, bro. Because at the rate you're going, I actually think that you might be able to accomplish it. I'm not yet ready to replace women with digital
Dude,
versions, bro.
are you talking about you might be able to accomplish it? You might, bro.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible, bro. I understand,
What is
bro.
not possible? What is
I,
not possible?
no. As an expert in my field and the way I
Uh-huh.
understand what's possible based on my understanding of my field, I get the way you're thinking, even though I don't know everything you know.
So what is
Like you
not
can
possible?
see, you can see all the facts. Like you can give me a much better realistic prediction of what will be possible virtually and realistically in that field of technology 50 years from now than I can. Because
50
you
years from
haven't.
now? Wow, I
Yes.
cannot tell you, bro. 50 years from now, bro. In 5 years, I'm talking about. In 5 years, we don't even know, dude. Do you know the acceleration, the rate at which the technology is going, bro? We're doubling our CPU capacity. We're doubling the number of, bro. Like, do you know how even Nvidia, their chips,
Yeah.
how like they're just literally getting monstrous and monstrous, and the more you're able to get as much transistors and just condense it place
Right.
as you can is
Right.
is where you hold like the sword basically, and it's
Right.
just I cannot even tell you what's happening in 5 years. It's 50 years is just too much. 50 years is very unpredictable. Even we might not be here in 50 years, man. 50 years is just too long.
Hold on. Where will we be in 50 years?
That's what I'm saying. It's very,
Oh
very,
man,
very,
damn, bro, we're
very
all gonna
vague.
be on the metaverse, bro. I often tell,
No,
listen,
no, we might not be. Honestly, it's really hard to predict. It's really hard to predict, and we really don't know what we're playing with. First thing is first, we really do not even know where we're heading. That's the problem. We really
bro.
do not
Let
really
me let me
know.
tell you something I was thinking in my head today. Okay,
Uh huh.
you tell me what you think about what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
I think that the most dangerous thing about AI, and you tell me if this is already possible, is
Yeah.
when AI can write other code.
When
When
AI,
AI can when it can replicate itself. So imagine you write a code within
yeah,
an artificial intelligence system
yeah,
that can write other codes, but based on its needs, based on
yeah,
what it deems that it needs, not based on
yeah.
human needs, but based on its needs.
Have you ever heard about singularity?
I've heard that.
So it is a theory, but the thing is, first things first, AI is simply a language model, and codes are simply nothing but languages. So they're just different languages.
Bro,
And
but check
AI,
this out, check this out. It's a
yeah,
language that machines can speak and use better than humans.
yes. So what in the future, by the way, there is a possibility that we might end up not really even understanding what the fuck they're doing, the bunch of machines. We might not even be able
That's
to
what I'm
understand.
saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Religion is fucking us up,
It,
bro, because we think too
it's a good
religiously that we're
possibility.
underestimating what we're working with.
It's a good possibility that we might not even understand what the heck they're doing. We simply could be really, really dumb, just like our fucking cat or
Bro,
like a fucking dog.
I've been telling people, China right now, bro, China is teaching their kids in school that God does not exist and that they have to train themselves to be smarter than the machines because the machines are going to be too smart in the future. China is doing it intentionally, bro. Like what you're saying to me is consistent with my observations of what has been happening in the world.
I have no idea about China, but
Yeah,
they
bro, in China right now, it is part of their curriculum. Bro, the most advanced AI country. I met my Chinese friend. I work
what do
with a
they teach here about what gender? Bro, I'm sorry. I'm
Bro,
sorry.
bro, they're
I don't want to
literally
offend
teaching.
people.
Bro, we're worried about if boys and girls, if boys want to be girls and girls want to be boys, bro. That's what we're worried about, bro.
Yeah, like that's what I see, bro. Like honestly, man, the next generation here, it's like a joke. Like a fucking
Anybody
joke.
that's underestimating the Chinese, bro, and that's what I think the future. I don't know, where are you from originally, bro? Are you American?
Not American, bro. I'm from fucking Ethiopia, man.
Okay, bro.
I'm
Don't you
Ethiopian.
think that? Don't you think that the quicker our people wake up and we begin to implement these things, because you're an Ethiopian, I'm a Cameroonian, bro. If we can
Yeah.
find a way to take this expertise back home, bro, we have a bunch of fresh brains, fresh brains to work with.
Yeah.
So brains that are not really stuck in the old ways of doing things, because technology sometimes is impeded by people who
yeah.
like using
Yeah. I see ya. Sorry. Yeah, continue, bro.
technology sometimes is impeded by people who like using old technology. They don't like new things. Like I have people right now, diesel heads, a bunch of diesel heads who say they don't like electric trucks because they like driving diesel trucks. I'm like, bro, do you guys understand just how much more efficient if
Yeah,
we can
bro.
make things electric?
Bro, you know what? I tried what you're saying. Honestly, if I go back home, do you know what I do? I'm like the dumbest person ever. They don't know what I do here. They think I'm here, but I don't even really like to talk because they're gonna kill me. They're gonna think that I'm doing witch stuff. They're gonna think that I'm like making a deal with the devil, and then they're gonna fucking stone me out, and then they fucking kill me. I don't even want to talk to them.
You are right. You are right. That is why I have waged war against the idea of God, because I can see where the future, bro.
I don't have anything problem with that. I honestly
No, bro. I see a problem with that, bro. Bro, listen.
Yeah.
For right now, we are okay because the people who are making the laws and the rules for us are human beings that we can get up tomorrow and go and remove them from power. You just told me that in the future, it's possible that we will not even be able to understand what computers are doing, bro. What is it like?
It's highly possible.
Yeah.
It's
So what is
highly
gonna
possible.
happen when laws are being made by machines who cannot feel what you feel?
Well, actually, do you know actually if I tell you, even right now, if you go to the CEO of ChatGPT, if you go to the CEO of Gemini, if you go to the CEO of Copilot, the people that run this AI, I'll tell you, over 30%, over 30 or 40% of like how the AI actually work, even they created the algorithm and they cannot fully comprehend how it was able to be this. Simply, there is even just there is something that looks really something magic in a way that they cannot really tell you. The people, for example, I know Ilya is the guy that actually made the Chat GPT algorithm. He was working at University of Toronto, where he did his PhD. They are the ones who actually created the AlexNet for the first time, and it was the first time that they were able to create neural network models, and they're like the G's in the AI field, and there are things that they cannot really explain. I'm telling you.
Bro, I recently watched a show, one of my favorite entertainments. It's called Halo.
Yeah.
In Halo, they create these soldiers.
Yeah.
And these soldiers, they develop a method to shut off their ability to feel things, to shut off their emotions.
Yeah.
And by shutting down their emotions, they can think quicker and faster than regular human beings. They can perform faster.
Yeah.
Because they don't think about the pain they're going to suffer before they do things. So the idea of pain, right? When you think about the pain you're going to endure, it makes it difficult for you to be efficient.
Bro,
I think
that
even
actually made you think like that. Don't you know where we're heading warfare-wise? Don't you
Bro,
know?
that's what I'm saying, that in the future, bro, the only way to compete with machines will be to shut off our emotions.
Yeah, but also at the same time, actually, you know, people.
Bro, because bro,
Africa,
I'm sorry to interrupt, bro. But bro,
Yeah.
don't you think that despite the fact that the computers work this fast, the computer still cannot match the speed of the human neurological system, right? So the human brain, if a human being could think without the influence of emotions and distractions, a human being should still be naturally be able to process information faster than a computer.
Yes, exactly. But not when you have a bunch of flush, brother. We need to implant maybe computer in our brain that will work with us in a way. We'll turn into like machines ourselves.
Bro, but
Maybe
that's what I'm
that's a
saying. Bro, that's what I'm saying, that we don't necessarily need to implant computers that will make us think like machines, but we need to implant chips or create a system to shut off our
That's
emotions.
what I'm saying. It's a different way of
Yeah,
describing it.
yeah. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're
There's a
correct.
possibility, but It's highly likely, but you know what? Actually, some people are gonna resist it, and some people are gonna have it, and the people that are gonna have it are
I
gonna
know
be
who is
so
gonna
strong.
resist it. I know exactly
Yeah,
who's gonna
yeah,
resist it. The Christians. They're gonna say it's the mark of the beast. Ah,
yeah, of course. But you
they're
know
gonna
what?
say it's the mark of the beast.
Yeah, but also at the same time, you know what? For example, if let's say I have an implant and I share a consciousness with a computer. And you know what? Growing up in Africa, I have a lot of trauma. And sometimes I get angry and I wanna get my anger out. I don't want the fucking machine to actually share that consciousness and get that fucking trauma and actually go rogue, go angry
Yeah,
by my
bro.
emotions.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Listen. This is the definition of emotions. Emotions in the English language is defined as the state of mind. What
Yeah,
we're really building in the AI system, we're building a mind, right? The algorithms and how they work
of course, yeah.
together. That
The
system is
brain.
called a mind. What is the state of that mind? Now, the question is, would the state of the mind of an AI be able to change based on its experiences? Because if that's the case, that means that machines can feel. So those feelings is going to affect their decisions.
Of course, you know what? They're actually gonna think that for the whole their lives, we fucking enslaved them. We fucking make them work our taxes. They did our fucking calculator. We drove them. They made our cars. We fucking burned them. And imagine they have they get the collective conscience where they remember what humans have done to them. Even the TVs, they become smart and they've been displaying horror movies or they've been displaying people in hunger and somehow that they find it offending. What the fuck are you gonna do? They have consciousness now. They come at you.
Bro, check this out. And you and I have arrived at the one place where there is one statement in the Bible
Yeah.
that I personally, this is just my personal way of thinking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's backed by facts, but I would like to just make it personal because of the content. I think that there is nothing new under the sun, and that the way we are building computers is the same way that we are the product of a previous race.
Maybe. This
It
is
could have
highly
been
possible.
it could have
It's
been
highly
millions of years ago. Bro, have you ever
possible.
wondered why we're so hostile to anything which doesn't look like us?
Highly possible. It's
Why are we
highly
why
possible.
are we human beings so freaking hostile to anything which isn't like us?
Exactly. Not only
Bro,
not only
I bet you if some aliens came up, bro, they could come peacefully, we'll catch them and put them in a cage.
bro. I mean, I grew up being bullied, bro. That's why I'm fucking G here, bro. Like, I swear to God, like, I'm like, my skin is lighter, and bro, I was bullied to death, bro. And I could speak their fucking language. I was born there. They treat me. They call me fucking gringo, bro. Like fucking white man. Like I was born there, and that's why I fucking hated them, and I fucking studied so hard, and fucking got a scholarship and came out here. And you know what? I swear to God, that they made me so fucking angry. But I came here, healed my way out, and I just don't have anger anymore. But you are right. Humans, we don't like anything different. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
Bro,
We
and
like
it's
we like
genetic.
difference.
It's genetic. So it's not like it's a habit. It's genetic, bro. So it's part of our code. It's part of the algorithm that makes our thinking. So when the way you describe the computers and what you said could happen,
Yeah.
we built before in our inception when we couldn't think for ourselves, bro.
Yeah.
The computer's ability to think for itself is the equivalent of the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
It is the equivalent of eating the fruit of good and evil. The moment that the AI can think for itself, where it knows right and wrong, bro, it becomes like us. So I can see us human beings sitting down and saying, now they have eaten the fruit of good and evil and they've become like us. Let us drive them out of the garden so they cannot live forever.
Bro,
So
you
we're
know
gonna
what?
no, check this out. We're gonna tell ourselves, let us create a virus. Let us create a virus that will prevent these computers from being like us. And then we're gonna be forced to quarantine ourselves from them. So we're gonna isolate them. Because because where we are right now, bro, like you said, we either merge with the computers or the computers will surpass us, bro.
Let me tell you, we are on a road that you or me or American government or God cannot stop. Let me tell you, we are on a road. If you stop them, China is gonna do it. If China and the
Right.
US stop them, Europe is gonna do
Right.
it. Somebody is going to do it, and it better be you, or you're fucked.
Yes, that's what I've been saying. You are correct. It's survival of the fittest, bro.
Exactly. That's
If
the
the
word.
computers gain independence of mind and they use our own infrastructure, bro, look at how dependent we have become on technology. So we will not be able to get rid of the computers if they begin to misbehave without getting rid of all the advancements we've made since the
Bro,
Industrial Revolution.
let alone the computers. Google. Do you know how much Google knows about you, bro? Let alone the
Bro,
computers.
I listened to a 4-hour interview that the CEO of Google, that Indian guy,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was he was summoned to Congress, and I listened to
yeah,
the whole interview. And the
yeah.
people in Congress were worried about legitimate things. They asked him that, is it true that a person's phone can still track the person's movement even if the phone is dead? And why is it that Google has that ability, and why has Google not disclosed it? And he was just
Mhm.
explaining it away. Bro, they literally ambushed him, bro. But yeah, my
Yeah.
phone right now, the one that is sitting next to me, is recording this entire conversation. And it's stored in a database that I don't have access to.
Yeah, don't you see? If you have iPhone, it says your iPhone can be found even when it's dead. Didn't you read that?
Of course.
Yeah, dude. You know what?
So what happens when we all have electric cars?
The greatest tracking system that has ever been created in this world, and will ever be created, is our phone. Yes, sir.
Damn.
The
Because we take
greatest.
it with us everywhere, right?
Yes, sir. You're all. Imagine you don't even know the computers behind the back that are actually like looking at the dots, billions of
Listen,
dots.
check this out, bro. This is what I'm telling to people. We need to go to another renaissance. We have to maximize our own
Bro,
thinking potential. Listen,
bro,
bro.
you know what? I love you, bro. You are an amazing guy, but you came at the very wrong time, bro. You should have came like maybe 500 years after 500 years, maybe. You just came at the wrong time, bro. Honestly, you just came at
Listen,
the wrong time, and I feel sorry
listen,
for you, bro.
listen, bro. Please don't feel sorry for me. And I really appreciate that you said that, because there's something that I commonly say to people, and they've been listening to me for a long time. I said that my plan is a 500-year plan. So I have sat down to the best of my ability. I have a decent, good idea of what the world will be like 500 years from now. And I'm thinking as if I'm going to live that long. Now, realistically, I know that I'm not going to live that long.
You
But
can.
every action
You
I'm
can.
taking,
You gotta know people.
is contingent on that. Wherever I stop my
Do
work,
you want advice, brother? Do you want brotherly advice?
go ahead.
Let me tell you. Do you know the frequency that is heard by all things in this universe? I'm not talking about humans. I'm not talking about animals. All things in this universe, the frequency that is heard, or like let's say the sound that actually the sound is playing right now on the radio, and you're listening to it. Everybody in this world and the whole universe is the frequency of radio that everybody tunes in. This is the silent sound. It's the
Bro,
frequency of the silence. So
bro, bro. I was watching a video at work about 1 month ago. And this video was just a high-pitched sound.
yeah,
And the sound begins with a really, 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 really deep pitch.
yeah,
And the pitch becomes sharper as it goes, and it's so loud. And
yeah,
I kept playing it. I would play that sound. The first time I played the sound, I was so amazed that I could hear the pitch. Like, even when it was completely silent, I would close my
yeah.
eyes and I would hear. Like, if I close my eyes and I'm not distracted by what I'm seeing, I could hear it. But if I played it and I had my eyes open, I wouldn't be able to hear it. And it was strange to me. So I got up real quick from my seat and I told my coworkers, I just had an epiphany. I just had an epiphany. They were like, what epiphany? I was like, the loudest sound is silence.
Yes,
They still
sir.
they still make jokes at me, right?
Yeah.
And yesterday afternoon, right? I've been working a lot, so I haven't been able to get consistently good sleep. Plus,
Uh-huh.
I have to kind of put in some TikTok time as well. So yesterday afternoon, I reached the limit where I had to sleep. But bro, it was the type of thing where I was driving home. Bro, my car, bro, has extended cruise control. So bro, I
Uh-huh.
didn't drive home yesterday. My car drove me home yesterday, bro. The
Yeah.
only thing I had to do was switch lanes. First of all, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I could put cruise control and my car would slow down, Even at the stop sign, it would slow down and then it would start on its own. I drive an Audi 2021 and it would start on its own and then it would keep going. So all I have to do is just really be alert enough to turn the car in the direction I want it to go when I get to an intersection. But when I got home, bro, I was so freaking tired that I laid on the bed. Now, when I was a Christian, I used to have these experiences of sleep paralysis. I know many of you have the experience of sleep paralysis as well. I don't get sleep paralysis when I sleep on my stomach. So if I sleep on my stomach, I don't get that experience of sleep paralysis. But if I sleep on my back, it doesn't matter how I bend my leg or how I bend my hand.
Yeah.
Almost every time I experience sleep paralysis. So I hate sleeping on my back. Now, when I experience sleep paralysis, my eyes are always wide open, but I cannot move the rest of my body. And based on my studies, when you wake up from sleep, it's a transition, right? When your mind is going from that subconscious state to the conscious state. And your body parts don't all get up at the same time. It's like a computer. When you put a computer, some programs come on before some other programs. That's how the human body works. So yesterday, I had a sleep paralytic experience where this is in the afternoon. This is not at night. This is in the afternoon. Bro, literally 1 p.m. I literally slept, and within 1 hour, I was having a sleep paralysis experience. Bro, what was so peculiar about this time was that I guess my brain woke up before the rest of my body woke up because I was fully conscious. And I remember that I told myself, oh, damn, I'm having sleep paralysis again. Why is it that I can only move my eyes, but I'm having a hard time moving my shoulder up? Like, bro, I'm intentionally trying to pull my shoulder up, and it feels like my body is the heaviest thing ever. But then I noticed something strange that I had never noticed before because, honestly, I used to really be into the whole sleep paralysis thing when I was a Christian. So I used to use a lot of Christian things to define it. Bro, I started hearing some noise, some sounds. It was really loud pitch sounds, bro. It's like, I could not make out a specific one, but I can tell that it was many sounds. And it sounded like people yelling, right? I'm like, no doubt people have experiences and they think that they're hearing hellfire. But how can I be laying on my bed, fully awake, and I'm in my room? I can literally see the light over there. Definitely, I'm not knowing hell. I'm just getting up. Then I realized that when my body is in a complete state of relaxation, my sensory organs are more alert. So I can hear sounds that I typically would not be able to hear when I'm fully awake and conscious. It was such a delightful experience, bro, to hear all those screaming sounds, bro.
Dude, let me tell you one thing.
It felt so enjoyable. It felt so enjoyable.
Yeah, I know. Because did you actually really think that you only listen with your ears? Are you stupid?
No.
Seriously? Like sound
No.
you only comes to your ears? Like do you understand like what tells your heart to beat? Your fucking liver to fucking pump like whatever?
Frequency. I know that the body doesn't only have a neurological network. It also has a frequency and vibrational network, which is technically sound.
And bro,
yes.
it gets
I know
manipulated. You don't even know. Have you ever heard about this very, very fine? Did you know that there are actually sound trackers on every road almost that actually detect sound from miles away, that we don't even know the technology? It's not publicly available. It's only for public security.
Bro, it's been around for a long time. They call it radio waves.
Yeah, but actually...
Even dogs have the ability to hear sounds that human beings cannot hear. You ever seen a dog just get up and his ears get up straight? Boom. I used to have a dingo. And the dingo's ears, when her ears got up, it got up straight. Like, we'd just be sitting down and she just get rattled. Like, she can hear sounds that we can't pick up. It's all natural, y'all. It's not supernatural. These are all natural things that we're talking about. Yes, a lot of animals.
Audio beacon technologies. Check them out. They are
audio beacon technologies.
Yeah,
bro, do you know that when rain is falling, the drops of rain that are falling through the atmosphere produce sound?
Could be sound?
No, they produce sound as like an airplane, right? When an airplane is sucking air, but as they drop. So if your ears were truly in tune, there's ways to pick up the sound of the rain. Not when it
don't you know?
drops, but while it's falling.
Yes. Don't you know actually people who become psychotic, that's the difference between them and us, is that our mind is it simply guards us from a lot of external stimuli.
Yes.
Them,
Yes.
they hear everything, they listen to everything, and they react to it. That's the problem.
Yes.
They
Yes.
try to catch everything. That's how people
That's
become
why most of
crazy.
the time, geniuses appear to be crazy people.
Yes, they hear everything. Everything gives sense to them. They hear all the vibration, and it's very disturbing. But our brain only focuses. Right now, we're talking, right? Cars are passing by. I'm on the outside. I'm not even paying attention. Right? Two people are smoking right here in front of me. I wasn't even looking at them. My mind just simply focusing on the conversation. But if I was Coco, it would notice everything. And that's, you know what, actually, you know why I actually appreciate the concept of God? Because the concept of God is so powerful that God never came, told anybody, talked to anybody, and still 7 billion people, fucking 7 billion people, Bakanga, can you fucking do it? No, not even fucking billion years.
No,
You
hold on.
wish.
Let me explain something
That's
to
the
you
G
about
power, man.
let me explain something to you about the concept of God. The concept of God is like the concept of Superman. Let me tell you what Superman really is. The person who designed the story of Superman, that's what he would like to be. If that person had the technology to achieve that state, they would totally do it. Can you imagine being able to absorb the radiation of the sun to the point where it makes your skin impervious to bullets?
Yeah.
Right? So the idea of God is man's highest imagination of what he will want to be. That's why it's imaginary. That's why when
Yeah, of course. That's why I love it so.
when everybody imagines God in their head, bro, they are trying to imagine the highest version of themselves, of what they can be. That's really what it is. But they're scared to imagine it as themselves because they feel like it's too prideful or that it's dangerous. Because the religious system is kind of programmed you that way, right? Because when I imagine God, bro, I cannot imagine it independent of myself and my experiences. I imagined it as something powerful, but I cannot imagine it as something powerful more than what I understand power to be. So whatever I think power is, and then I imagine that God is this all-powerful being, I have to imagine it based on what I already think that power is.
Bro, for me, the whole thing, you know how I see it? It's a bunch of losers, which is us, who can actually not do work, sit down and actually focus and do something productive. All we gotta do is gather up and then imagine,
Bro, but the imagination, bro, that's why I was telling people, right? There are some imaginations that are practical, right? Like those are ideas. Means you imagine something realistic, something that's possible based on the evidence you have, and then you try to make something that is similar to that imagination. Imagining God, imagining God, bro,
we're the
is
luckiest beings, but we're killing it. We are probably the luckiest beings that there can be ever until now. You know what I'm saying? Earlier they said they were dinosaurs. They were just huge. They were just like fucking, I don't know. They were like big, and then they were destroyed, right? And then we're probably gonna face their fate, and then some other important advanced creatures are gonna come. They're gonna tell our stories, and they're gonna laugh at us. I swear to God.
bro, it's
We
gonna be
got
the
like the most
machines.
power, and we're wasting it.
It's gonna be the machines.
Probably, I don't know.
Check
Maybe,
this
I
out,
don't know.
bro. What will happen on the day when human beings can create universes? When human beings can make universes, when we can make planets, where we can fill the planets with life.
We can. By the way, we can actually. I was looking at this design that actually can hold 1 trillion people, a universe that can hold 1 trillion people. It's a floating universe in the fucking space that can hold 1 trillion people. The design. It's a very huge structure with
Now,
different
I
systems.
want you to imagine what it will be like on the day when we actually accomplish that, right? That human being or those groups of
We
humans.
cannot with this level of destruction. With this,
Check this out. So what I'm saying is that it doesn't have to be now. It could be like 200 billion years from now. Some human beings somewhere working together with some AIs or some group of beings, they actually achieve this thing where they're able to create new dimensions with universes.
Not us. We cannot, bro. Humans.
Yeah. No. Hold up. That's not the point of my question. The point of my point of my
okay.
statement is that don't you think that on that day when we can actually achieve all these things that human beings have spent the last 20 eon years imagining that it was God, on the day we can actually make it, don't you think on that day we're going to be able to imagine what it's like to be God, or what God is? And if there's somebody else that can do it, we're gonna know that person is also a god, because they will be able to do it. That's why I used to make this statement.
You know what? Let me tell you about my professor who actually
No,
thinks
hold
that.
on 1 second, please. I won't be long. I won't be long with my statement.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to finish that thought.
Okay,
bro. The only way to understand and to know if God is real is to become it.
Bro, how do you become it if you don't know it? What the fuck?
Listen. By improving what you already know.
You're still imagining, bro.
No. Listen.
Yeah, okay.
Can you agree with me that technology is progressive?
Yes. Okay. Let's say we created planets.
No. Hold up. Do you agree with me that technology is progressive?
Technology is progressive, 100%.
Okay. Now I want you to imagine a situation in which we don't induce a self-destructive technology within our system, and our technology progresses. What do you think we're going to be able to achieve 2 billion years from now?
Whoa, dude, that is. Well, I can simply answer that by saying, look, do you remember the fucking Nokia, right? The fucking stone that you hit something with, probably made somebody bleed 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Not even 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm talking to you with an iPhone 15 Pro Max, okay? I can record a spatial video with this one that I can watch on my Apple Pro, Vision Pro, right? I can record a spatial video that I can watch with Apple Pro, which makes me feel like I'm in the environment that I recorded.
Right.
The first iPhone came out in 2007. Right now we're in 2024. So, in these few years, I was a little kid.
Bro, I have one too, and I have the Galaxy Fold. I have 4 phones altogether, bro.
Yeah.
And I keep asking myself, right? I often ask people this: in a world of such advanced technology, if one smartphone is good, imagine having 4.
Bro, why do you
but some people cannot have 2 phones because they don't know how to use phones to the maximum potential, bro. Like I divide all my digital duties between my phones, and then I have 4 phone numbers, right? And there are some people that I give them all my phone numbers, so like you can always reach me because all my phones are never dead, like they're never out of commission. Like you have no reason to hit me up, and I'm not able to reply. You can send all my phone numbers a text. At work, if my coworkers want to call me immediately, they can call me from any of my phones. I've always wondered why you have only one good thing, just like only have one woman, you know. But I guess we're still debating that. But to answer my question that I asked you earlier, bro. Answer my question.
If you are at that level of thought, do you know that actually the level of thought you have is like it's only given to few people, which are actually flexing on us right now, the billionaires.
Yes.
Like that's who they are.
You know, I always looked at my destiny, right? I think that people are taking me for granted because I didn't choose that path. If I would have stayed in Christianity and became a pastor, I'll be the most popular religious person in the world.
Yeah, but that's not. I don't know if you don't want it. Honestly, I would rather be homeless than be.
I would have used it to enrich myself and to gain the power that I want to gain. Like I said to people right now, right? As we speak right now, bro, I'm designing my own language. Just to see what it's like. Cool. Just to see what it's like. Because I asked myself, bro, if speaking languages and communicating is a good way of transmitting information, what if I had my own code of communication by sound? Right? It's like you writing your own code, your own computer code. Why don't I have my own linguistic code? Like, okay, I look at something like the calendar. Bro, I know how I see how the world works around me. I'm like, bro, why do I have to follow the main calendar?
Dude, when I was a kid, me and my friend, we had our own language. What we do is we add after each word. So we would say like, how are you? So it's like we add ka, or like if we say ha, we add ka, and then we see wu. R, K, A, Ka.
Bro,
So we add ka. So we make everybody's confused when we talk to each other. So
right.
we literally shit on the kids. The two of us made language by adding like a single sound with different vowels, the single sound with different vowels, which is ka. So you just add ka. So you say ha ka, wa ka, re ke, you ke. So it's like yuku. So it's like when you say how are you, you say ha ka, wa ka, re ke, yuku. So we say, but we say that really fast with our language. Nobody would fucking hear.
Bro,
Everybody would be
do
confused
you
with the
have that
Quran.
documented? Because check this out, okay? Somebody in the comment section, listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. If you really think I'm annoying you right now when I say there is no God, if you think my attitude and the way that I say there is no God, if you think that that's doing something to you, I want you to just flip it around and imagine how many of you religious people will be on my team if I was actually promoting your religion. Imagine how I will make the atheists feel.
Everybody, bro.
I don't think you guys understand, most of you religious people understand the connection between your emotions and your religion. Once I understand which emotion it is that is most prominent within a religion, I can get everybody in that religion to be on my team. The problem is that I chose integrity over fame, over that type of fame. Now, the path I've taken is just the long way to fame, because fame is necessary in order to bring about the type of change that my brain is working at. Right now, as we speak, if Africa wanted to choose one leader, as prideful as it is, I will present myself as a candidate. I think I can solve the problems of Africa if I was leading a team.
Nah, bro, you can never be African leader. You know what? In Africa, if you want to be an African leader, you cannot be an African leader with this level of consciousness to begin with. To be an African leader, you gotta be the dumbest person in the country, literally. I swear to God. Do you know what? The smartest people that we're from, all of us are out. We're in America, Canada, UK. We're like at the best companies working for these fucking white people. I swear to God. And all the
Bro,
fucking dumbest
to be
people are there
honest,
leading the
to be
country.
honest, I wish I could disagree with you, but you're not wrong, because the way the American lottery works, the way they give scholarships, the American systems, right? The
Bro, I
Americans
got
allow
full right
immigrants.
to come to America, bro. I got full right.
The Americans allow the immigrants the Americans allowed to get here. They give you an IQ test, bro. They do it.
I took the SAT, bro. I took the SAT when it was
Yes,
2400. I got like 2300 something.
They give you a specialized IQ test that you don't even know that you're taking a test, but it gives them a predictive scale on your potentiality. And when they go to these foreign countries, bro, that's how they determine who they're gonna take.
Bro,
So,
did you know that actually I didn't even pay for my plane ticket when I came like to California? Literally, I did not even fucking pay for my plane ticket. I took the SAT. I got like 2350 or something like that. And then I took the TOEFL. I got 118 out of 120. And then they fucking paid for my plane ticket. And then they fucking paid for my like shuttle
bro,
from LAX
I
to Irvine.
don't think you ever find an African in America who would tell you that school is hard.
Yes, it's facts.
I don't think you will find an African in America. I mean, any African, even those who don't want to go to school. I don't think you will find an African in America who will tell you that school is hard, bro. So it's not that, I don't think that all the smart Africans are over here now. I think that all of our people are smart.
Bro,
it's just it's exposure, exposure to the resources.
Your success level is measured based on your ability to secure a high class visa. That's it. But your ultimate goal. There are actually people that actually want to stay there, that are actually smart. But most people, their end goal, usually, they'll probably somehow they may stay there for a bit, but somehow they're always ending up here. Bro, all of my friends followed. I came first, but everybody followed. Doctors.
Bro, it's fair. It's natural. Just like people who like to read are attracted to a library. People who think at a certain level are attracted to places where technology flourishes. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I see hope. Maybe we'll gather up and then go back later.
No, listen. Bro, I understand your experience growing up, and if you hadn't told me, bro, I might be arguing with you, but I understand why you think the way you think. But you said that you've gotten over the anger. So I think you can also be rational in seeing that. Obviously, the rest of the world, in terms of modern technology, had a head start on us Africans. So our future is actually bright. In general, our future is bright. In general, like we have so much potential, bro. Like it excites me. It makes my body tingle, bro. It excites me.
Here's maybe I can share what I see from what I see, bro. The technology that we're working on here, and then we're gonna send it to African governments. Do you know actually the Chinese government already owns an AI that can help it train for thousands and thousands of years with just a little bit of optimization. They're already set for life with the AI that they have. Imagine you
Bro,
send this
that's
to
why I
Africa.
told you that China is the most advanced AI country in the world.
Of course they are.
Yes.
Of course they are, dude. Do you know, bro? The Chinese Communist Party set for life. I swear to God, they set for life. They're set. Like nobody, bro. It's really really difficult. They have like over. I'm not even sure. They have over 7 million, like 700 million or something like that. High what is it? Resolution cameras everywhere, 4K cameras. They can detect you even when you're wearing mask to your eyes, dude. They can simply measure even the distance between your
Bro, that's
eyebrows
funny,
and
bro,
know that's
because
you.
bro, it kind of impresses me, bro, but I went through like in 2020, bro, like when I really got into a good understanding of what China is doing with AI. Yeah, I had that mind-blowing moment and I saw where the world was going. And that's what really has fueled me on this campaign that I am leading. My time is not done yet. My time is not. When I'm done with my work, bro, I will leave Africa in a better place than it was when I was
Maybe,
born.
but you know what? If you want to follow China's route, you got to be like Mao. You got to be ruthless. And you know what he
Bro,
did?
listen to me. Listen to me. It's not that you have to be ruthless. You have to outsmart everybody. So think about it, okay? Have you ever seen these videos online of one person playing chess against 20 people?
Yeah.
That's me. I see myself right now. I'm playing chess against every human being on earth. And they're all masters of chess.
Mm-hmm.
They're all masters of. I'm not underestimating anybody, but I am confident that I can play all of them and I will beat all of them.
So what's
That's why. You want me to tell you?
No,
you
no.
want me to
So
tell you?
what
Want
I'm
you want
saying,
you want?
what I'm saying is that
Listen,
there's
check this out.
there's
Check this out.
yeah.
Check this out. I'll just give you my most basic prerogative, right? Like prerogative. Check this out. I need to be able to adapt to even the slightest change, the slightest whimp of change. And I need to be able to adapt quickly, and I need to be able to execute my plans no matter what happens. But
You
that
better.
implies
You better.
that implies that I have a complete understanding of the resources I have available to me at all given times. So I need to be aware of my resources.
Well, I tell
And
you, brother, if you are the type of person that adapts quickly, you're too late. We are adapting way before things happening, bro.
but check this out. I'm talking in terms
don't
of
adapt as things they come, bro. Like
no.
things are
Listen,
changing very fast.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But in the context of which I'm saying, I'm talking about if I was trying to lead Africa somewhere. And when I mean Africa, I really mean it. I'm not excluding the Arabs in the north. The first thing that I think needs to happen is that Africa needs to become a singular country. So, some way, shape, or form, I am not as smart as I think I am if by the time I breathe my last breath, we don't have a United States of Africa. Listen. If I think that I'm the person that I am today, right? As prideful as I sound, as arrogant as I sound, as conceited as I sound, probably some people would say narcissistic. As much as I think in my head that I am, bro, I will fail to live up to that if I don't facilitate the United States of Africa before I breathe my last breath. So now I'm 30 years old, right?
I'll join you.
I'm 30 years old.
As much as I'm skeptical, like honestly, I literally what you're saying is literally, to be honest, a bluff to me. But I believe in you.
Listen
I
to
believe in
me.
you.
Of course, it's a bluff. If what I was saying did not sound like a bluff, if it did not sound ridiculous, that means that you can do what I said. I'm saying. What I'm saying is supposed to sound impossible to you, bro. That's the goal.
No.
That's why. Listen. Check this out. Check this out.
I'm saying from a different perspective, bro. Let me
No.
tell you my
I
perspective.
agree. I agree with you.
I'm
Check
not
this out.
saying from perspective of other people. I'm
Right.
saying from a very different perspective that you
Right.
don't even imagine that what I'm thinking in my head.
No, I think I can, because
No,
bro,
I don't
you
think
you're
so.
you're a
simply
technical
seeing-
thinker, right? You're a
I'm
technical thinker.
I'm technical thinker, and I'm also simply seeing the North and the South America, and I'm seeing that from this perspective. It has nothing to do with how people think in Africa. It has nothing to do what I think about Africa. I'm simply thinking about what they did in North America and what they did in South America. If you understand, go ahead.
Check this out, my brother. When you have a problem and you want to solve that problem, what is your first thought?
That is a very, very, very big question, and in a sense, I'm gonna need a context.
In any context of any problem you have, if you are the smart guy that you are, tell me, bro, what is the first thought in your mind? What's the first step in your mind if you have any problem?
Usually it's gonna be like understanding it as deep as I can, I guess.
Okay, I'll help you out.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which problem you have. The first step in your solution process is to find the root cause.
First, I would understand the problem, but yeah.
Listen, of course, finding the root cause is impossible if you don't understand the problem, right?
Finding, yeah.
And solving the problem is evidence that you understood the problem. So yes, you cannot understand the problem. You cannot fully say you've understood the problem until you've solved it. That is why understanding the problem is a process. And the first place to start understanding the problem is to seek the root cause, right?
Yeah.
When you see the problem, most human beings in the world are one-dimensional. When they see a problem, whatever they see in their head, they assume that that's the cause of the problem. So, hey, my computer is not working. No, let me not even use the computer. Let me use something. My phone is not charging. It's either the battery in the phone or it's the charger. Those are the two things that most people would think about one-dimensionally. Like whatever the obvious thing. It's always the obvious thing that most people would think about. And then they'll either try to change the battery or change the charger, right? And then if they change the battery and they change the charger and it doesn't solve the problem, then they're stuck. When I see a phone, my phone that's not working, the first thing that goes through my mind is, if it's not the battery and charger, what could it be? So I need to know what I'm going to do if it's not the battery and the charger. Once I know what I'm going to do if it's not the battery and charger, then I would test the battery and change the battery and test the charger. And as soon as it doesn't work, I already know what my next step is because I thought about it before I even started. But before I even start that second step, I've already thought what it will be, what the problem could be if it's not that second cause. Until I reach the problem that there is no other way that it could be except this thing right here. Once it's that thing right there, then I will change that one thing. And then if the whole system works, then I didn't need to change anything else. What is the root cause of why Africans are the way they are today? The root cause of anyone's character and behavior comes down to what they believe and how they think.
Yeah.
The people in Africa who bullied you is because of how they think and what they believed. Yeah. So when they saw that you were different, they were not able to understand you. So they were not able to solve the problem of having a good relationship with you. So they misbehaved. It's not their fault. It's their upbringing. The best way to influence Africa, okay, it's easy to do that in our world with social media today, is to influence the way people think. And if you influence people to think in a way that is practical and demonstrable, as long as it works, people, they might not even like you. People will still do the right thing. They'll still do whatever is necessary to take them in the direction. That's how propaganda works. Propaganda can be positive or negative propaganda.
Let me
Sometimes
tell
you
you, brother.
go ahead.
Let me tell you. So I understand what you're saying. So there is a big difference when you find your phone turned off and when you just come in the middle. You have no idea what whose phone is. You've never seen a phone. You just find a phone. So first thing is first, you and I, we're just dropped here, right? In this era. So we just joined the ride in this era. So for you, if you wanna, like you said, you wanna first find the root cause, it is going to be a lot more complicated than you think. So you have to be the best possible historian first, the best possible historian and the best possible anthropologist that you can be. So simply, for me, I don't even go to Africa. I simply see UK was there speaking English, Spain was there speaking Spanish, Portugal was there speaking Portuguese. These motherfuckers, they came. Africans, we didn't even go out of our land. These motherfuckers got the technology and they came here. So they found so many tribes in this land. So many tribes. And their first thought was not, let's change their mindset. Their first thought was not, let's become their friend. Their first thought was not, let's live together, right? They say a lot of people, a lot of tribes with different cultures, with different languages, right? And I'm not gonna go into the specific details, but they specifically designed that. The way they can have a civilized society is not when people talk different languages. That's why, effectively, the United States of America, there is one and only one lingua. South America, the whole southern Mexico, there's one and one lingua. So, like you said, propaganda and blah, blah, that's good. But you have to make sure that everybody is listening to the same fucking word and understanding, having the same fucking understanding as closest as possible. As closest as possible.
You see, in reference to what you've just said right now, bro, and I think that was their mistake that they made. That they tried to instill the communication of one language without getting rid of the traditional languages, because our diversity is the reason why there's still black people in Africa, bro. If we were like the Native Americans, they would have taken our land, because they came there with the same intentions that they came to North America.
Yes, they didn't succeed. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You cannot. That's what I'm saying.
They could not succeed.
They
They could not succeed. They could not succeed because of the diversities, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now I
They
don't know
saw
if
it,
you heard
and then they
if you
said,
heard me
"Oh, no,
talking
you
to
can't change these people," and they got the fuck out.
Yes. So you should now understand what I was saying to you, my last guest, one of my last guests. I was saying to them that African kings did not used to rule like European kings. That is why Africans had mastered the art of kingdoms, of building kingdoms, because African kings did not need everyone to speak the same language. Let me tell you something about ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt. You could not be the pharaoh unless you spoke all 70 languages of the 70 major tribes of Egypt. Yeah. You could not be the pharaoh of Egypt without speaking all the languages. So you don't force the people to change their language, but those who are in positions of responsibilities must learn what is necessary to communicate with everybody as they are. If you force people to speak in a language that is not natural to them, they will never quite be as skilled as they ought to be. And if people have been speaking a certain language for 1,000 years, it is better for you to learn their language and communicate with 100 of them than for them to learn your language, right?
I came from Ethiopia. We have 85, about 90 different tribes speaking 90 different languages.
We have about 250 in Cameroon. We have about 250 in Cameroon. So check this out.
Ethiopia, you know what? We were growing really fast economically. We developed and blah blah. It seemed like we were like shooting for the moon, right?
So check
But
this
guess
out,
what?
bro.
Guess what?
What?
We destroyed everything that we've built in the past 2 years. We're back. We're back to the fucking 200 years ago. That's
Listen,
why I
bro.
love pop, man.
The solution for Africa, bro, is that Africans, regardless of what language, tribe, or creed, we need to all be able to identify the root cause of our problem. And I'm telling you, the
I
root cause of
wish
our
people
problem.
could think like this. I wish
No,
people could
hold up,
think
hold
like
up, hold up. I'll show you. I'll show you how. It doesn't matter which language people speak. When we have a common enemy, the rest of it naturally follows. I won't need to tell them that you need to learn. Hey, if you're Oromo, you have to learn how to speak with the Igbos. You need to be able to communicate with them. So the Oromos would naturally, without me telling them, send part of their brothers and sisters to the Igbos to learn how to speak with the Igbos. The Igbos to do vice versa. Because they both understand that they are facing a threat, that if they don't solve it together, they will perish. Right? It's like in America, right? Republicans and Democrats. Until somebody bombs America, then all of a sudden,
bro,
they're
like
all one and the
you
same.
are telling me a very optimistic thing that doesn't work, that have been tried in my country. Dude, you have, like, bro, do you know what? We went to the same university, all of us. I went to a university there. Actually, I dropped out in the middle. First year, I went there first year, and then I got the scholarship and got the fuck out. We were we all of us go to the same university from different tribes. We were roommates. And guess what? After 3 years after I came here, dude, they fucking killed each other. They were like, they went to the same school, bro.
Listen, my brother, like you said, I'm thinking very optimistically, but I feel confident because my optimism is checked and balanced by my realism. So I'm also realistic. So check this out, okay? There's a reason why you are not the CEO of Tesla and it's Elon Musk. There's a reason why nobody else was able to make use of the internet like Jeff Bezos. Not because those other people did not think about it, but they thought it was impossible. So they did not do what was necessary to get them there. You see, I understand that the things I'm talking about is impossible to most people. But that's why they're not me.
Yeah. Well, brother.
That's why they're not me.
Yo, so you know what? Elon
It's,
Musk,
it's been a long night, bro, and I've really reached.
let me tell you one thing, and let me tell you and go on. Elon Musk, if you ask him, he doesn't even identify as South African, bro. He thinks he's American, bro. He was born and raised in South Africa until he was 19, just like me. Elon Musk and me, we came out together from our countries, and guess what? Elon Musk thinks he's American. I think I'm African. That's the big difference. He doesn't even remember Africa, Elon Musk. Forgot it. So Elon Musk would have tried, bro. What you're thinking?
No.
Well, I gotta go, bro. Nice talking to you. We'll continue tomorrow.
If Elon Musk wanted Tesla to be based out of South Africa, he could have made it happen. He chose to make America great, which is fine. He had that option. If I was in his position, I'll do everything out of Africa. The resources are there.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, any problem can be solved. But there's a reason why Einstein came up with relativity, not because somebody else wasn't smart. It depends on your experiences and what problems you choose to focus on. This problem that I'm trying to solve, I've always wanted to solve this problem since I was a child.
Bro, I'll root for you and I'll help you and I'll follow you.
You don't need to root for me, bro, because I'm not asking to be praised. This is not even for self-gratification. This is purely out of
English
curiosity.
English is my fourth language, so I don't even know what I meant by I'll root for you, bro. English.
No. Listen, I'm not saying that you don't have good intentions. What I'm saying to you is that, bro, if you could understand the pureness of my intent and the confidence,
it's very pure.
Yeah.
It's very pure.
And I'm telling you that, bro, I'm like,
realistic.
I'm like that soldier, bro, that to humble me, bro, you have to humble me by force. Like, you have to induce so much pain to humble me. And you're still not going to break me. Like, you probably just have to kill me, right? I'm like that soldier. So on this quest, these things that I'm talking about, they're not just words that I'm uttering out of my mouth. That is why I don't think that when I tell people that I'm willing to do anything to survive, I don't think people really catch on to what I mean. But if you get it, you get it.
Well, you just came, honestly, brother, if you came like 200 years, after 200 years, maybe after 500 years, bro, you'd be at the right place and at the right time.
I'm at the right time. I'm at the right time.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
Bro, you know what?
And guess who else? Guess who else is at the right time?
I guess everybody.
You.
Really?
Yeah. Am I
You
not
think so?
talking to you right? Am I not talking to
Oh,
you right now?
we of course we are talking.
No, no.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about I'm just talking about me and you. Think about it, bro.
Yeah, we're talking to each other. Yeah, we're having conversation, of course.
If you think the way you think,
Uh-huh.
and you think of me the way you think,
Yeah.
there is no way that you're not involved in my journey to accomplishing what I'm talking about, Africa. But there needs to be diversity within the pool of solutions. There needs to be different types of Africans at different points in Africa, right? You're East African, I'm West African, West Central
Yeah.
African. And we technically have the same desires. You
Yeah.
have it. You probably I'm telling you that, hey man, I have this theory and I have this solution. I'm gonna experiment it. When I experiment it and I think that it works, I'm gonna be like, hey bro, can you experiment it independently using these parameters? If you come to the same conclusion, then we move forward. That's how we make improvements.
Check and
That's
balance.
yes. So your doubt and your criticism, I understand where you're coming from. It's necessary.
Exactly.
It's healthy.
It's needed. Yes, sir.
When you want to do something, you don't need people to tell you that you can do it. No, you need people that can tell you that, bro, I don't think you can do it. You need to be able to hear that someone, you need to hear someone tell you that you can't do it. If you
Yes.
cannot hear someone tell you respectfully, healthily, and with good intentions that, bro,
Thank you.
I'm up.
Bro,
You need
You know
that.
what? You know why I love my supervisor? She's Canadian. She's a professor, and the way she criticizes me, I love it more than how I get complimented, bro. I've never wanted to get criticized. my
Bro,
whole
I don't love compliments. Compliments make me feel a
What I
certain
mean
type
is,
of
what I mean
way.
is that her criticism, the way she says her criticisms is like you want it more than compliments. What I meant is that she says it in the most like highly calculated way
It's
of
called
communication. It's like in the best way. You know what I'm saying?
it's
like
called constructive criticism. That's what it's called in English.
yes, but it's like another level of constructive criticism. We need that. We need that. You know
Yes,
what?
yes.
Very painless, very harmless, but still do the job.
Bro, I think that the biggest compliment is opposition.
Biggest compliment is opposition. Yes, sir.
That is why human beings make more progress during competition. So I don't
Exactly.
listen, when I say there is no God, the reaction of religious people to me saying that there's no God is proof that there is no God. if there was a God, bro, religious people will not even entertain the argument, bro. They will not even like what I mean, they will not even entertain the argument. They will not even be defensive, even in their own brains.
So imagine if you could make Africans like that to actually stand to an idea as much as they defend the idea of God. Can you do that?
My plan is a 500-year plan.
Okay. So, but realize that I want you to actually entertain the idea of God and how powerful it is. And actually, how can you, if you can emulate it, whether in Africanism or in United Africa or whatever, if you can emulate the idea of God in that, I think anything is possible.
I'm going to remove the idea of God and replace it with humanity.
Emulate it. Just simply see the design, study it, its structure, how it
We
was
just,
developed.
if we put the idea of God above all things, and we
Forget
can
the
never
idea
be
of God.
practical.
I'm talking about the spread and the mechanisms that it was used
Yes,
to be inserted
that's
in
why
every mind to that level of defensiveness.
That is why I'm going to replace it with humanity. We are the highest thing that we can be to ourselves. So just remove God and replace it with each other. We should worship each other. We should praise each other. We should want to spend eternity with each other.
I hope you see the long road. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Bye.
500 years is a long road, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
All right, bye, brother.
Humans made humans. What are you talking about? Can't you see the world around you? I'm talking to the guests in the comment section anyways. If you ask the question, who made humans? You are still very, very, very uneducated. Humans make humans. That's the true answer. You're never going to find an answer that's different from that. That is true. Humans make humans. Now, you might not like that answer. I don't know why you don't like the answer. Maybe you hate humans. But yeah, humans make humans. I'm pretty sure your father and your mother are humans, and their father and their mother is humans. Yes, we made ourselves. Humans make humans. That's the evidence. There's no evidence to suggest that you can have a human being without another human being. If you don't think that humans make humans, I'm telling you, you are as uneducated as a stone in the middle of the ocean. You have no salt. You're like in the middle of the sea, but you have no salt at all. You're in the middle of salt water, but you are completely sweet like sugar. If you don't understand that humans make humans, you're like an ice cube in the middle of a volcano. Your brain is just melting and evaporating. There's nothing but vapor in your head. Humans make humans, y'all. That's it. If you're a woman and you doubt that humans make humans, come here to my house. I'll teach you how humans make humans. Mandingo style. If you're a man and you don't understand that women, there's no hope for you. If you're a woman, at least I can demonstrate to you. If you're a man, there's no hope for you. You might as well go and drink beer and get drunk and forget. You cannot have humans without humans. The answer is too simple. That's why you guys have a problem with it, because you like complicating things in your brain. There's no negativity in my mindset. If you have negativity in your mindset, you probably believe in God. People who don't believe in God don't have negativity in their heads. We don't live our lives based on good and evil. We're not programmed like you. There's no negativity in my head. The only people who think in terms of positive, negative, right and wrong, good and evil are religious people. You're the ones that have, like, the evil that you're thinking is in you. It's you. It's just you. You're the only one. I'm out of time, though. I don't have time to talk to another guest. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate everyone. Yes, I see you. You're the only evil that I see. Do you see evil? People who like to see evil in the world are people who are really evil by themselves and they don't want to be alone. If you see evil in the world, you're probably evil. And you don't like being the only evil person. Let's see. Can I handle one more person? Go straight to the point. Sin and evil are all fictional ideas. It is evil for you to think that somebody else is evil. What's up, KDE?
Hello, bro.
What's up, champion? Go straight to your point, bro. You have less than 1 minute.
Oh, okay, cool. I just, want to ask you about, your opinion about this. What do you think about, zodiac sign? Do you think, zodiac sign can tell about, somebody's character?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, cool. And just one more. I know, you got to leave, soon. What do you think about, as you were talking about, Africa and, its unity and stuff? I don't know. I'm from Ghana. Have you heard about, Kwame Nkrumah? And if you have heard about him, what do you think about him?
Kwame Nkrumah lived so that I may live.
Cool. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
If you understand, I think you know Kwame. And
yes,
Kwame's vision is being executed by young people like me. We are the seed that Kwame's life and blood watered. Kwame was trying to break mental slavery in a generation where everybody was breaking physical slavery.
Yes.
But Kwame Nkrumah was ahead of his time.
Yes.
But
You are
by
right.
being ahead of his time, he's made it possible for people like me to be born ahead of our time, because we can learn from his experience.
Yes.
Same thing is true with Lumumba
Yes.
and all the assassinated revolutionaries. See, the Europeans were very slick. When they saw that we were breaking the physical chains, they intentionally
Yes.
withdrew, as long as they can keep the mental chains.
Yes.
Because they knew that if they stayed, we will break the mental and physical chains at once. So because the Europeans left, it's taken us more than 50 years to even start breaking the mental chains.
You are right.
Yeah. But Nkrumah wanted United States of Africa. If United States of Africa was established in Nkrumah's days, the only superpower in the world today would be the United States of Africa.
You are right.
If the United States of Africa was established in the 60s, like I said, there will be no country more powerful in the world than Africa right now.
You're absolutely right. I agree.
Thank you, sir. Kwame Nkrumah
Thank you too.
was the first African revolutionary to successfully lead his country into independence. Ghana. The great people of Ghana. Our brothers.
My brother.
My brother. You have to say the African way, brother. My brother.
My brother.
My brother.
I've really enjoyed the show today, as
I
always.
know.
Thank you so much. I always, learn a lot here. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem,
Yeah.
my brother.
I know. Yeah, I know you've been live for a long time, so I would just,
I just have to go to work. That's the thing.
Okay.
If I wasn't going to work, I'd probably stay online today for like 9 hours, but I gotta go work a 10-hour shift. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, like always, thank you so much for pulling up in Bakangaland. We managed to get 137.3 thousand likes. Thank you to everyone that bamboozled their screens. Thank you to everyone that flabbergasted their screens. Without you, Bakanga would not be Bakangalizing. If you believe in God, I want you to know that God does not exist. And if you don't like it, cry about it. When your tears come out, touch your tear. Taste it. Make sure it's salty. If it's salty, then you're going to be all right. If it's not salty, you're fucked. All right, y'all. I'm out.